Okay, this is the Town of Lake Park, Florida Special Call Community Redevelopment Agency meeting for Wednesday, December 17th. The time is now 6:36 p.m. Can we have the clerk please take the roll call?
Here.
There we go. Board Member O'Rourke.
Here.
Board Member Thomas.
Present.
Vice Chair Hensley.
Here.
Chair Mashad.
Here. Can we all please rise for the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Got that fine.
All right, please be seated. Okay. Next, we have the approval of the agenda. If there are any modifications that need to be made or requested to be made, please do so now. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the agenda.
We have a first and a second. Any other discussions? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The approval of the agenda passes unanimously. I have nothing under special presentation and reports. I do have public comment cards. I will call you up. Of course, you know public comment is 3 minutes, and we will begin. Millard Porter. And again, these are public comments for the CRA meeting.
Yes, sir. I had been on the understanding there was going to be a report discussed, but in general, I've changed it to a non-opinion. Anyway, my name is Millard Porter. I'm the part owner of Brewhouse Gallery and property owner 345 Hawthorne Drive. The CRA business, I'm here to talk about the CRA and the business that it needs. CRA business needs foot traffic. That requires positive movement of development of apartment building in the CRA, long term, and town advertising or other ways of bringing in folks in the short term. The holiday lights are nice. We really love them. But we've had many people come into the brew house and say they have not heard and did not know the lights were, in fact, in place. And what a surprise it is when they come here and they see them. So it's a great thing, but it needs to be advertised. The town really needs to do some work to get the word out on that. Part of that, I think, is the town needs revenue. In my opinion, this commission has done everything it can to delay development. An individual at one of the last meetings complained of higher taxes and less town services. So without revenue, this will get worse. Business revenue is more than residential property revenue, so development needs to happen because more development means better revenue for the town. The town needs to develop. Businesses in this town need folks to frequent their establishments. Otherwise, the entire town will look like the 900 block of Park Avenue, quite an eyesore. Lastly, I think, and looking back, I know there was discussion of back in August at a meeting where we were going to have delay the approval of the reverters, and which delayed a large amount of money coming to this town. At that time, there was discussion, and Mayor, I think you made a comment that we were going to get a COC and have money in December. I've not actually heard if that money is coming. The reason I bring that up is if it has come, I'm wondering if that will allow us to continue to try to either get these grants going to help the businesses that are struggling and continue to get advertising out to bring people into our town or use other ideas to try to encourage folks to come to our town. The businesses need foot traffic and the businesses need people to come frequent our establishments or else a lot of us are going to close.
Thank you. Tim Sullivan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Sullivan. I am a resident, homeowner, and business owner here in Lake Park. I want to thank the commission and the town staff and the CRA staff for all the hard work that they've done this year. The town is really coming alive. Living very close to downtown, I get to enjoy walking it almost every night. The addition of the holiday lights has really changed what downtown feels like. And in addition to that, the year-round lights that really helped improve the vibe of downtown. And as we look ahead to the future of the CRA's involvement in investing, getting new businesses to come to Lake Park, what does that look like for this room, and how do we make sure we're courting those businesses properly? With note of the Culinary Crossroads opening this year, it's a major milestone. Such an amazing facility to be here in Lake Park. So what does that look like next, and how do we get more businesses to come here? And I think the question comes down to is people living downtown. And I know that comes up with the project at 10th and Park and other future developments. And I think that it's really important to keep in mind that the development of 10th and Park and other locations is what everyone's keeping an eye on, and how we decide who's going to invest next in Lake Park. And as we change this town and redevelop it, I think it's a really exciting future, and I want to thank all of you. And of course to Allison, who's here tonight, for all her hard work and for staying on as we look to refill her role, and her staff. They're doing such a great job. And thank you all for your time and commitment to the future of Lake Park. And although I do think we should support the density that Forest is asking for, if they can provide some guarantees to the town that we're all comfortable with, as long as we're following the legal rules. I know a lot of people are against the 16 stories. I think it can work, and I think we should be weary of going into scenarios where we could jeopardize the future town's revenue. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Deanna Fungi. I hope I said your name right. Funger. That's an R.
Yes. It's been a long day.
Okay.
All right. Good evening, neighbors, council members, and fellow residents of Lake Park. My name is Deanna, and I'm one of the co-owners of Coastal Karma Brewing, located on 10th Street. We've been in business for over 5 years here in Lake Park. We all know why we live here and choose to start businesses here, but we also know that a town cannot stand still. To preserve what we have come to love, we must be willing to grow. Tonight I want to talk to you about a vision for Lake Park that amplifies the best parts of our community. It's a vision built on 2 pillars: supporting our local businesses, such as our local brewery, and welcoming a new wave of residents who will help secure the financial future of Lake Park. Now, for some, they might just see Coastal Karma Brewing as a place to grab a beer, but from an economic development standpoint, a local brewery is so much more than that. They are community hubs. They're family-friendly gathering spaces where friends meet, where ideas are hatched, and where local culture is celebrated. But beyond the social benefits, the economic impact is undeniable. Our business, like many others, is at risk of leaving Lake Park if this development project on Park and 10th does not begin soon. Currently, if you ask our regular customers where they live, they will not tell you Lake Park. Most of our customers are from Palm Beach Gardens, West Palm Beach, Loxahatchee, or even Jupiter. And this is why we need change here in Lake Park. This brings me to my second point. Who are we building this future for? We have the opportunity to bring in a specific demographic, the upper middle class professional. These are young families or even established individuals that will enhance the landscape of our downtown by supporting and growing our local business and tax base. So why does this matter to you, the current residents of Lake Park? It comes down to one crucial phrase: the tax base. Bringing in upper middle class residents is one of the most effective ways to stabilize and improve the town's finances without raising taxes on existing residents. This funds a better Lake Park for everyone. We should go forward with this development that includes a solid plan for infrastructure and a compromise on the overall plans, but still continue to keep this project moving in a productive way. In conclusion, the path forward for Lake Park is clear. We must embrace development that fits the character of the town. We must champion our local entrepreneurs who are taking risks to make this town fun and vibrant. And we must welcome new families who want to invest their lives, their earnings into our community. I implore the town's residents and officials to approve this project in an expedited fashion. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that's all the public comment cards I have for right now. Next, we have the consent agenda. We have 3 items on consent. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Before a second, I'd like to poll and discuss item number 3.
Are you asking to pull it, or you have just a question?
I have a number of questions. Pull it for discussion.
Okay, so you are pulling item number 3
Okay.
formally?
No, I don't know where we're at. I want to discuss item number 3 on the
Okay, so
consent
we
agenda.
are at consent. If you wish to pull item number 3 for questions, I would, and if you have a series of questions, I would suggest that you pull the item out from consent, and then that way we can approve the remaining items and then go to item number 3 that you wish to pull.
I'd like to pull on consent agenda item number 3.
Okay? So let it be known that item number 3, for the record, has been pulled from consent. And I will entertain a motion for the remaining 2 items that are still on consent.
I'll make a motion to approve item 1 and 2 with the item 3 being pulled, which I tend to admit to do too, so, yeah.
No problem. Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The 2 items passes unanimously. So now we will go to item number 3, Resolution 98-1225, a work order for professional real estate brokerage services at 800 Park Avenue, Cushman and Wakefield. Commissioner Board Member Linden, you pulled this item. I will let you begin.
Thank you, Mayor, or Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
As I read through this, I had a number of concerns, and I want to share some of those. As I looked at the cost of 4% across the board, and one item 6%, with an open opportunity to be charged additional money by the broker, I'm, question 1, curious why we just did not use a standard real estate broker to do this, and why are we spending additional money when we don't necessarily have to?
Good evening, Allison Justice, CRA consultant. The contract in front of you for Cushman and Wakefield, this is for a specific work order. They have a master contract that was approved a couple of months ago with the CRA, with those pricing in. When they bid on the project, we had four different firms bid on the projects. We selected 3 of the firms to be under a master contract with both the town and the CRA, so we can utilize their services when we need real estate service. So they break out their costs in whether they are selling a property for us, whether they're purchasing a property for us, or whether they're representing us in another way. The price for this particular item is the disposal of a property, which is a 4% commission. That is their price that they submitted within the RFQ, and that is their price for now. So they don't have the opportunity to waiver on the price. That is their price. If it's only a negotiated price if it's an item that we're asking for some assistance for. This particular item is just a work order for disposal of a property, where they will also market the property as well for us.
All right, I understand that. I was looking for a cost on the previous agenda item when it was first brought up, and I couldn't find it. If I did, it wouldn't have made a whole lot of difference right now, because now I'm looking at that cost of 4%. And as I look through what they're going to supply for us on that, and the list of additional costs if they have to do anything under the scope of services, when it's sold, they're going to market it to a variety of people, which any realtor normally would do.
Correct.
So that wasn't nothing special for me. Are they going to be our closing agent? They're going to handle all the paperwork, legal work, and so forth for the close of the property.
That is correct.
I didn't see that clearly outlined, so thank you. That was important.
Obviously with the attorney as well. I mean, our attorney will be involved, but they have the standard contracts. They have all of they will help us negotiate a development agreement, but our attorney will be involved. But yes, that is part of their overall package for the disposal of the property.
Okay. Again, if that's all included, then the 4%, I guess we can live with that for what they're going to do. I just thought with so many realtors in Lake Park, we have numerous realtors, that we would indeed give the opportunity to someone local. We've all bought and sold homes, I'm sure. And the closing always seems to come down with a little bit of a issue. And here they call on 6% commission paid by the town, C&W, to be responsible for outside co-broker, if any. Could you explain that?
I apologize, I don't have, and I believe Ken Krasnow was running late, so he's not here yet from the firm, but I don't know what the 6% is referring to as far as it relates to this. This deal is a 4%.
Okay.
The pricing you have was their list of pricing that they submitted within their proposal for different services. This service happens to just be the sale of a property. So there's a flat percentage fee.
Okay, thank you.
Vice Mayor, you said you had some questions?
Yeah, that board member Linden kind of summed it up for me. I'm believing just reading this and questioning the price that we're actually may sell it for, and just doing imaginary numbers in my head on just what we talked about before, along with the percentage, is if it's really worth us looking into, like we had a discussion before, selling or leasing it. But that's not here. We're going to stay on this agenda item. But I did have a question, because most of my questions got answered by Board Member Linden. If once this is approved, and we may find some options for it, then we will have the approval if we wanted to sell it or go through the sale or not, correct?
Correct.
All right. Because, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. Board Member Thomas.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, Allison.
Thank you.
I have a question. Was this property appraised prior to it going to market?
Yes, this was, we had 2 appraisals on the property.
Yeah.
They're less than a year old, but they're getting to be about a year old. So yes, but we did have 2 appraisals on it.
Okay, so I'd like to know if we have an appraisal for a property, so we already pretty much know the value of the property. What is the difference when we are dispensing of this property as when we were doing any other property, whether it's a right-of-way and we have it appraised and the adjacent property owner wants to purchase the property and they go ahead, move forward with purchasing it? Why are we engaging with a broker to market it when we have an appraisal and a willing buyer? Because this was presented to us, and I know that there are some ways as far as public office has to dispense of property.
Sure.
So if you can just maybe make that information available to us.
So, you are correct. You need to use a real estate professional. It was of the CRA's opinion that we needed to spread the blanket, spread as wide as we could with their marketing capabilities. We also have a professional that writes real estate contracts. That is their profession, and that's what they do. And so it was to help in the process of actually disposing of the property, just as you use a realtor for for any property. So then we went out and bid and had 3 different responses, and this is who we chose for this property. But
Is it because in order to dispense of property, we have to have person that holds a real estate license if we're acting as the town?
I would defer to the attorney on that. I don't believe we have to. I think that the attorney has.
No? Okay. So if we have an appraisal and there's a value that's associated with it, then are we then required then to just advertise here, the town is selling property?
We do. Our requirement is that we have to post it for at least 30 days.
Okay.
So you have to notice it. So it could be as simple as noticing it in the paper, noticing it. What we had chosen to do instead was issue more of a full request for, not qualifications, but request for letters of intent. So we get proposals behind it instead of just somebody offering. Obviously, we're not looking to sell this property for the money behind it. We're looking for the right use. And so we're being a little more prescriptive in the bid that we create, which is the specific type of use that we'd like to see in that building. So, but the legal requirement is that we have to notice it for 30 days.
Okay, and then based on the noticing, then commission then determines, okay, the highest and best use or a highest and best value? Or highest value?
It's highest and best use on this. This is a specific use. It would be up to the commission. The CRA board would select who you wish to enter into negotiations with. So there would be proposals. You would obviously have some variations in proposals, which would be the different type of use, the different price they're looking to pay. There'd be some different elements of a proposal. And those likely would come to you, and you would perhaps get verbal, proposals from the bidders, depending on how many we get. We'd qualify them, make sure that they all qualified, and then bring them to you for that decision.
Okay. What makes this any different than a land where you have zoning codes on, this is in the CRA, and it certainly has specificity as far as uses that would be allowed on that property? Where is the need, right, if I could say that, if the property meets zoning code and requirements, right, for there to be a restriction on the property?
So there's no restriction. And what I tell every CRA I've ever worked with or every city, land and property is the most valuable asset that you have. And when you dispose of it, especially in a CRA, you need to dispose of it to someone that's going to get the highest and best use out of it. So, we don't have an endless bank account. You're not paying, so when you have property and you're looking to revitalize a downtown, we want to make sure whatever use is in that building really complements what happens in the CRA. That's why we go through a bid process. That's why it's a little different in the CRA than we're not looking for just a highest, we're not looking for highest bidder. We're looking for what's going to add the most value to the downtown moving forward, which is kind of why we had the discussion about the disposal of the building in the first place, because the discussion was, is an office the highest and best use for that property along Park Avenue? So,
what's the timetable that we're looking at, of the dispensing of this property? What's the timetable?
The bid is ready to be released. So as soon as we, if you approve and want to use a real estate professional, we can get the bid noticed, anytime soon. Obviously, we'd want to wait for responses till after the holidays. That's, this is a hard time of year for everyone. But after that, I would imagine it'll take, I would say 3 or 4 months.
Really?
Probably to
for us to dispense.
I would say because you have to because we'll have proposals, because we'll need to bring them to the board to discuss, because you have a selection, then you have to negotiate a contract. So there's going to be stipulations in this contract. You know, we don't want someone to take over this property and then in a year flip it. You know, we want to have the right of refusal to get it back. So there's going to be stipulations in a development agreement that.
Because it is a town-owned parcel?
Correct.
Okay. So just humor me a little bit more, okay? We have known, like the town has known, for more than 2 years or so, probably than that, because there have been a number of different uses in there. And I think recreation and CRA has been in there for what, about 2+ years?
Yes.
Right? Maybe 3?
At least maybe 3, yeah.
Yeah, probably about 3 years, right? So we know that there was the intent to do something other than that with it. Then about a year ago, there was discussion, a presentation. No, I shouldn't say a presentation. There was a proposal that was brought before the CRA, right? About here we would like to do something, you know, with this that is consistent with zoning and consistent with uses that's in the area there. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're saying that it'll probably take another 6 months before we dispense of the property.
I can't say for sure, but kind of understanding what a timeline would be.
Yeah.
You know, it may be that you only receive 1 or 2 proposals, and the decision is fairly easy, and the negotiations start immediately, and we could do that in a couple of months. But
have we developed uses yet for it?
yes.
So-
Well, the use that's currently in the
No, I'm not talking about what is currently being used for.
No, I understand.
Okay.
In the bid that's currently drafted,
Yeah.
We're asking for a restaurant use.
Okay.
So that's what's being asked for upon first consideration. It does not mean that others can't respond, but that's what we're asking.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me find out first on this end.
Okay.
Board Member O'Rourke, okay. Board Member Linden.
This seems like a lot of unnecessary work, time, and so forth. Am I correct that we have a person that's a business, restaurant business, that's extremely interested in this property?
We do.
All right. So we're spending a lot of time and a lot of money. Have you spoken to that person, and are they willing to come to the table and look at what we're asking and make an offer?
I know that they are, and they have stated that in their proposal. They've made an offer. We have to notice this and put it out for others to propose as well before we make a selection. That's part of our requirements. Before we did that, we went through the process of getting real estate professionals hired so we could have someone help us dispose and purchase real estate, because the same time we were looking to dispose of this property, we're going to need to potentially purchase or lease other property. So that was the holdup in that, was to make sure we had real estate professionals on board. And for that, we had to go through the qualification process as well. So.
All right, thank you.
Board Member O'Rourke.
Thank you. Hi, Allison. It's nice to see you here. Allison, the proposal here to bring a group in, Cushman and Wakefield, they would serve as appraisers, kind of, and to look at what the property's use would be and how it would fit best with our community. Is that correct?
They are, they're commercial real estate brokers, so they deal in commercial properties. They have a public-facing side. So when we looked at firms and when we evaluated firms, they work closely with municipalities, they work with CRAs, so they understand what we're looking for. So they have an arm of their firm that's what they deal with, is dealing with public entities within their selling and purchasing. So they understand our rules, they understand what we're looking for, they understand that there's negotiations to be had. once, once somebody is selected. So that was the reason that the firms that we selected were selected.
Okay. I wanted to open that conversation with that question because this is not just one property that they would be talking about. Their purpose would be to assist us with regard to any property that would be involved in a sale in the downtown area. Is that correct?
We do have two other firms. So this was a work order. So we already have a contract with this firm as well as two additional firms. So when the town or the CRA, because we have contracts on both sides, want to either purchase or dispose of property, we have real estate professionals that we can, hopefully quickly assign work orders so that they can then be tasked with that job. This job is simply for the 800 Park Avenue building.
Okay. Understood. And that's what I was wondering about because I'm just using as an example, what if this is a hypothetical, nobody's ever talked about this. What if we, for example, wanted to purchase property next to the 801 property for our use to create a village green type of area? Would that be the service of a company like that?
Correct, yes, and which is the exact reason we hired three firms to go under contract with so that we can select one of those firms and say, okay, we're ready. And we don't waste a lot of time when we're ready to actually do something like that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I don't really have any questions. You kind of elaborated on everything that I would have tapped into. And that last one was very well articulated by you, so thank you for that. If there are no other questions, I will entertain a motion on this resolution.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 98-1225.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
The motion passes 3-2. Okay, next we have under new business. I have nothing under new business. So I will move on forward to CRA Administrator Report.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to present to you all, and actually we have Amy from Culinary Crossroads and Oceana Coffee here tonight in the audience back here. But the CRA received an award for Culinary Crossroads from the Florida Redevelopment Association. We received this award at our October conference that was held in West Palm Beach this year, presented to us at their annual awards dinner, and this was for creative funding for a project. So along with the CRA's funding, their private investment, and a loan from the county, combined into creating this unique business that's now in Lake Park with that has all Oceana Coffee, the canning operation, as well as the small business incubator with the culinary kitchen. So I wanted to bring this here and present this to you all, the board, and congratulate you.
I see Merrill there. Can we take a picture?
Of course.
I think that's why Meryl's there. But you want us all to come up front.
Come on,
Absolutely.
let's do that.
So I do have a couple of more announcements. The CRA's been, I will say that I've been approached, even since I've left, quite a bit by businesses wanting to open a business in Lake Park or looking to move and asking about our incentive programs. So the word is getting out that we do offer incentive programs, and I want to thank everybody in the town. Every time somebody calls community development, calls Merrill, calls anybody, they always point them in the CRA's direction if they're located in the CRA to see what incentives we may or may not have to offer. So we have spoken to quite a bit of people. I just wanted to let you all know that we do have a couple of incentives probably within the next 2 or 3 months coming forward that are a little, I'd say a little larger scale and might be unique, and we've done some unique projects with Culinary Crossroads and with the facade at 796 10th Street. So we've got a couple more businesses and our property owners that we may be moving that forward. So I just wanted to let you know that we still do I get multiple inquiries a week about new businesses. So they are asking the right questions, and we're actively meeting with them. So Saigon Market, which is at 826 Park Avenue, has completed their facade, their windows and doors, their impact windows and doors. So we are reimbursing that amount that she received from the CRA. Burt Bostrom, public engagement. So our consultant, Wanamaker Jensen Architects, attended the December 5th holiday event. They had a booth. They've asked, they asked questions. They got feedback from over 100 individuals. They had about 40 that signed up, actually, but more that just came and did stickers, and they were showing them visuals, and they had some activities just to get people engaged, see what they'd like to see in the park. To date, we've received 119 surveys online, so we have a QR code. We've advertised through the website, through email, through the newsletter. We will be sending a mailer in January, which will include the QR code for the survey. It will also announce the January 24th community workshop, which will be held in the Mirror Ballroom upstairs. So the format for the workshop, there'll be a short presentation, which will just be really what they've received to date, how many survey responses they've gotten, and kind of a big picture what they've heard. There'd be no design at this point. They're still not at that point, so this will be just another opportunity for the community to come share their thoughts about what they'd like to see in the park. It'll be similar to the December 5th event, where there'll be some visual boards where people can go up, talk about what they'd like to see, more one-on-one than a public meeting. It's not meant to be set up as a public meeting where you have to raise your hand. We want to talk to people individually, but we want to make sure we answer everyone's questions, so the staff will be around.
So just for the record, this is a clean slate in terms of this approach. Anything before is non-existent up until this point.
Correct.
Okay. And then with the surveys and the booth that they had at the Holly Tree Lighting, were they able to delineate between the people that came that were residents or not, or no?
If they felt, they did have some questionnaires, and I actually did not get their data on the residents. We do on the surveys ask whether they're residents or non-residents, and I know that they were supposed to be delineating, but I know that they had, especially if they had kids, they probably, probably did not get all of that information. But yes, it is our intent to try and understand whether someone's a resident or a non-resident when we get that.
Thank you.
Again, the event on January 24th will be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. A short status update. After the surveying is complete, this will likely be our last public meeting. We'll see how many surveys we have at that point. The consultant will present 2 conceptual designs. We will have another public meeting where they will present those 2 conceptuals to get comments from the public on that, but prior to bringing them to the CRA board for approval and selection of one of those or a variety or a mix and match of what those conceptual plans look like. So the Rust Market will be held Saturday, December 20th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The CRA will have a booth there as well. And In January, I hope to have a special CRA meeting at the end of January that I will be back for on the 21st, I believe. We are working with a financial advisor to look at a piggyback contract to assist with bond issuance if the CRA decides to move forward with a bond. So we're still working on that, but I'd like to present it obviously to the CRA board to see, so you can see what kind of costs are associated with that and if you're interested in moving forward with bonding from the CRA. So that's all I have for this evening, unless the town manager.
Allison, before you go, well, actually, you want to wait till we do board member comments and then, well, actually, she's already up. So I'm going to have board member Thomas. She has a couple questions in regards to your updates.
Sure.
Good afternoon. I do have, and actually, I had sent a couple of comments that related to the Burt Bergstrom Park.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see that?
I did. I responded, but that's okay. I
No,
can
okay,
respond.
because I try and keep all of town business separate from all these other stuff, you know. Nevertheless, just on the public records, the reason why I wanted like to ask, based on the survey, I think it was like only about 111, I think, surveys that were received in regards to what to do with Burt Bergstrom. So I started to do some like brainstorming about maybe having a dedicated laptop in the library, you know, for residents to come in and do the survey or a link to it. I do know that we rely a lot on social media, and it's interesting because we're at a crossroad with social media. One, in the schools now, we are completely limiting them, you know, as far as how much access they have. Family members are also limiting, you know, social media. Why am I saying this? If there's a way that we can do a mail-out distribution or something of that nature where we can send it out to the residents, maybe with a QR code so it's really quick and they can see it and they can, like, you know, do the survey right away, because we have over 9,000 residents in our community, and we're looking to improve a park that's going to affect over 10,000 people in our community. I would certainly like to see a survey that's more than 1% of what our community is. And, you know, for the residents that's there, unlike Kelsey Park, that's more visible to the public because it's out there on US 1, this being more of an insulated park, I would like to see what we can do to get more input in what's going on. And I just keep hearing when we go out there, we don't know about it. You know, someone even came up tonight, says, you know, we need to advertise. I know for a fact that we do advertise. There's a lot that we are advertising, but it's difficult because we're just not reaching. And so I'm just asking if we could put pamphlets out, maybe, you know, there. Maybe we could have it at businesses or something, even if it's just a little card that says, you know, here, complete this survey for the town, but something that that's more accessible so that we do get better feedback for that park.
Yes.
Okay.
And we will be, just to answer your question, I know you'd had that question, we will be sending a mailer after the first of the year to all town residents that will include both the QR code for the survey as well as the information about the meeting on January 24th. Also, for that meeting, we will have, I think we got 50 yard signs, which we'll put on prominent corners throughout in the swales throughout the town. You know, one of the things I've found in previous locations is, you know, not a lot of people, even if you get a mailer sometimes, even if they get an email, seeing a sign reminding them that there's a meeting, you know, we hope to get some good attendance at that. But I will work with the library to make sure they have the flyers, make sure they know when someone walks in, if they're asking to use the computer, they help them with that.
True. And all access point, I think here, you know, in Town Hall as well, if we can have flyers in community development, if we can have flyers, you know, maybe in the finance department, if they go in and, you know, pay whatever bills that they need to like pay there. Another thing too, that I was thinking of, Kelly, it's not good to age, because just as quick as you can flip your glasses, memory goes. Okay, it was important, but it's just not there now. Sorry.
What were you talking about?
Board Member Linden, you had questions, sir.
Thank you. As I follow most of all of the information on networks and Facebooks and so forth, what follow-up did you put on or was put on about the success, mediocre, or failure of a current event that we had with the flowers and how the businesses reacted?
Well, we actually had an internal follow-up meeting today about
For the
event. but-
public.
For the public, I understand. We've gotten comments, obviously, on social media. I mean, we don't have a meeting for their follow-up, but we will inquire to the businesses that participated as the CRA. We will personally reach out to the businesses that participated to see how their response was. We've already talked to some of them, but that is part of the follow-up process of after any event, to ensure that if we move forward and do it another year, things that we need to change, things we can make better.
Well, my point being, if you follow other towns close to us, next to us, and so forth, after an event, they kind of brag about how great it was, what they did, how the people had fun. I don't remember seeing anything other than one post on Facebook, our media, with a collage of pictures, and that was it. We had a professional photographer there. We had other photographers taking pictures, but yet I saw nothing from the CRA to promote, as one other person had stated earlier, we need to promote the CRA, so it's nice to have an event, but if there's no follow-up on how that event went, and strike any interest to come back and, wow, sorry I missed that, let me check it out. We need to somehow, and Board Member Thomas talked about it briefly, we need to come up with a better communication plan. It's not done and forgotten. We need to ride the wave, if indeed we had the wave to ride. Yep. So if your meeting's coming up, I'd appreciate a discussion on that with your other members, whoever it may be, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member O'Rourke.
Hi, Allison. Thanks for coming. Oh, did I say that already? You were talking about the survey with regard to what was it?
Burt Bostrom.
Burt Bostrom, yeah. That wasn't a joke that time. Did we, when we did the public meetings for the Kimley Horn downtown PAD, did we do a survey for that?
I can't answer that question, but.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any questions from you, Vice Chair?
I don't have any questions, but we're at board member comments, not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, but board member comments will be ready. Okay. Thank you, Allison. Executive Director, did you have anything? Okay, so board member comments, and I will start right here with Vice Chair Hensley.
So I got pretty much a comment. It's probably for more, I don't know if it's a commission meeting, since it was brought up about the commissioners, and I kind of want to address the situation because what I get in my weekly reports, read, I know that it was said that foot traffic, I get foot traffic, a master's in business, so I understand a little bit about foot traffic and how that stuff works. You need the residents, and the commissioners are supposed to be against development. The last thing I read, and this is for the executive director, for us to vote on development to come up, they need to go through the permit processing to be completed, correct?
I'm sorry, could you repeat what you're asking?
For us to vote on any development in the downtown area, they must go through code and development and Nadia and all that stuff to get approved, correct?
Right, there's an application process, and it would go through the,
So
planning and zoning and.
the development that we're against, the last thing I read that they wouldn't finish going through the development for the downtown area. I mean, going through the process. Am I correct?
For which development?
10th, both developments.
My understanding is that the property on 10th, the forest property has gone through planning and zoning, but there's not been a request to move forward with that.
Right.
The other property that's more on Park, that property or project has recently submitted their plans for review.
So they couldn't even come for us to vote on anyways.
No, that still has to go through staff review, and then it would go through planning and zoning, and then it would come to you all as a commission, not as a CRA.
Okay. So when they're both are ready to come, they'll be able to come to us. Then we can make a decision on
Yes,
what we're
sir.
doing. I just wanted to clarify that.
That's it? Okay, Board Member Linden.
I'm good.
Okay, Board Member O'Rourke.
Good afternoon. I would address this to the people in the audience tonight. Tonight, I thought that there was going to be a discussion about the Kimley Horn report. That has been pulled and moved to the second meeting in January. So I know there's some people that are interested in that. Apparently, that's not going to happen today. So I'm telling you that right now. So if you want to stand up and let the commission know that you're here for that purpose, that'll give you an idea of who is here for that. And now, at least you've shown your faces, and you don't have to go through this next meeting now. I thank those people that did come to respond. I do want to make a comment. Thank you. I do want to make a comment about the projects not going in the downtown. Those projects are not going downtown because the prior commission put in place a zoning in place restriction that prevents anything from happening for a period of time. And so I don't want that to be suggested that that the town was moving forward. The town's not moving forward. The town has what they call a ZIP, zoning in place restriction right now. And there's some issues with regard to those projects, and they have not moved forward on any of those things. So I just wanted to make that clear. Also, I have one other thing on a more pleasant note, and I will be more pleasant with this one. The town holiday show was fantastic. And I hope you got to go down there and see what was going on there. And I want to give a shout out to my fellow commissioner, John Linden, who volunteered to be Santa and have it looked like over 200 kids come up to him. And he was as gracious as he could be and really was a champion on that project. And John, I thank you. I was very impressed with how you handled that.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate what you do. And not only that, there was also the staff that put this all together. That was a wonderful event, and this town should be very proud about how they put those types of events together. Thank you.
Okay, before we go anywhere else, I know you mentioned the zoning in place, right? That zoning in place it's done, correct? It expired.
Yeah, done.
So there is no longer a zoning in place, just to clarify. That's all there is.
But he did say it prior commission and not this commission, though. He did say that.
Correct.
So that I was saying because they said this commission is against it, but the prior commission put it in place, but it's gone. So.
Okay. You have anything, Board Member Thomas? Okay, I'll let you go quick, and then if you want to go, just go ahead and I'll speak after. Go ahead.
What I really wanted to say was I'm very happy, actually, to see as many people in the audience tonight. I would like to challenge you, however. I was reading this article most recently about how do we promote public engagement. And what's very good is that we have business owners, residents that are out there. But I'm going to challenge you. The next time you come, bring a young person with you so that they can see and understand what the future looks like for them. My lifespan isn't much longer. I might get maybe another 30 years out of myself. But when we make plans, we make it for the future. So I challenge you all, whether it's your grandchild, whether it's your children, to engage them. This community is over 103 years old. Think about that. I doubt if I'll live to be 103. But it would be nice to know that what we're planning for, that those people are here to see it and also to take part in it. When I moved to this community over 20 plus years ago, we were the youngest people on the block. It's nice to see that this community again has young people in it. But as I look over this community, I often see the same faces. So I challenge you to bring along someone, bring along the future so that they can see what we're trying to plan for them and they can be a part of this. Thank you.
All right. I just want to elaborate on just a couple things. Again, the zoning in place is no longer. This perception of any commission, I won't say past, present, future, of them not wanting development, I simply don't agree. I think, and I agree with the businesses as well, something needs to happen. That we can all agree on. It doesn't matter if you're a resident, business owner, commission, staff, something needs to happen at downtown, something needs to be injected. The notion of not wanting is an error. I can look to my left and to my right and know that. They want something as well as you all do. So I'm saying that for the record, there isn't a not need for development. What needs to be there is the question, and that's where the discussions are being made right now. Discussions between us and staff, us and our executive director, town manager, whichever role he wants to wear, whatever day, whichever way the wind blows. We're having those discussions, and they're ongoing. I encourage the business owners, continue what you're doing, because I know you guys are coming together and forming a group of your own to talk about things and how you want to move this town forward. Development is one thing, and I encourage you to bring that up to all your businesses that are neighboring you to come in and come to these meetings and express yourselves. The residents I have with their respective representations as well as themselves individually, please come and do so. But the notion that there is not a want or a need for development, I strongly disagree. Because I personally know, and I've lived here since 1985, this has been the lowest I've seen in downtown in terms of foot traffic. And it needs something. It may need it from our existing residents, so I will challenge those existing residents that are here, that live here, to go downtown, to patronizing these businesses, because these businesses are not here just to glamorize themselves and look good. They're here because they believe in our town, they believe in what we have, and they want to be able to patronize for you to come and enjoy their establishments and what they have to offer. I myself have been going through the businesses and doing videos. Why? Because I feel like sometimes you got to do things yourself to get it done. And I'm not saying there's nothing being done by staff, but I'm taking it upon myself, and I'm sure my other partners will do too in their own ways, to come out and help you guys and lend a helping hand. So I took an initiative on my own strengths. I'm not a perfect videographer, but I'm learning to go to individual businesses and let them talk about themselves. Why? Because it's not about me, it's about we. So I want them to be able to tell their stories in a short 3-minute video, of course, 4 minutes if we can stretch it, to talk about themselves, where they are, where they want to go, and why they're here. And that why is very important. Why are you here, and why do you want to do what you want to do? So I'm going to continue to do so. And for those that are out there that have participated with me, I thank you very much. And those that haven't, I'm waiting for you to let me know when you'd like to, because I want to do that for you guys, and I want to share your stories to the public, even if they're not living in Lake Park, so that way you can get more foot traffic in, and people know where you are, and not, oh, we didn't know they were there. I want that. I want you guys to get the attention you want, and that's warranted. But I also challenge those that are here, that live here, to go there and give them your attention, and not just come when it's time to talk about something of a project or a height or what's coming to downtown. Go to those businesses and enjoy it, because I've gone to them. And you can go ask them, and they'll tell you I've been to their places. I walk with my own kid around the town, and my goal is to get to Oceana Coffee. Struggling legs and all, with knees hurting, but I'm going to get my coffee. So I do what I can. I challenge you all to do it too. With that, I got nothing else. But it takes a village to make this town grow, so let's understand that. All right? Okay. Any agency member requests? Okay, if there are none, I will entertain a motion to
Motion
adjourn.
adjourned.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Third.
Aye. And we are done with the CRA meeting, and we will take 5 minutes to switch things out. Thank you all. All right, this is the Town of Lake Park, Florida regular commission meeting for Wednesday, December 17th. The time is now 7:51 p.m. Can we have the clerk please take the roll call?
Commissioner Linden,
Ho, ho, ho.
Okay.
Commissioner O'Rourke,
Yeah, I'm here.
okay, Commissioner Thomas,
Present.
Vice Mayor Hensley,
Here.
Mayor Mashad.
Here. We will bypass the Pledge of Allegiance as we have already done so. Next, we have the approval of the agenda. If there's any modifications that need to be made or requested, please do so now. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
For the approval of the agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The approval of the agenda passes unanimously. Next, we have special presentation and report. I have two, and I may ask, if you do not mind, I would like to add a third, in which the captain would like to give a report as well. Yes? Yes.
I didn't see, that was a yes or a no from
That
you?
was a yes. She did
All
say
right,
yes.
all right. She's
Okay, so
hiding
we will
behind
add
the
her
narrative.
to the third, as the third item on the presentation and report. But first, I have a proclamation to present to members of Twigs Academy. Can we please come up?
All right.
All right. And I had the pleasure of speaking with this lovely young couple. I'll say young, since we've been talking about old recently. And we're going to shift to the right. It's been a joy to hear your story, and it is especially a joy for me to present you with this proclamation. And I look forward to what your future endeavors are with your project and the academy and where it's going. So with that, I will recite this for you, if you don't mind. Okay, this is honoring Twigs Academy. Whereas Twigs Academy has considered the town of Lake Park, Florida home since they opened their doors in the fall of 1989. And whereas the Twigs Academy owners chose the town of Lake Park, Florida due to the tranquil atmosphere, the town's vibrant offerings, and the many young families that have long cherished life in Lake Park generation after generation. And whereas Twigs Academy began with a capacity of 34 students and grew quickly to serve a capacity of 93 students, and whereas Twigs Academy has experienced a need to expand its capacity to 227 by the year 2027 due to the educational excellence and community impact. And whereas Twigs Academy received from Bridges at Lake Park in August 2025 the Lifetime Achievement Award for providing quality preschool education for children beginning at 6 weeks of age to 12 years of age. Quite a feat. Now, therefore, on behalf of the Commission of the Town of Lake Park, Florida, I, Roger Mashad, Mayor of the Town of Lake Park, do hereby publicly recognize and commend Twigs Academy for their dedication and service in the Town of Lake Park, Florida. In witness thereof, I have here to set my hand and cause this official seal of the Town of Lake Park, Florida to be affixed on this 17th day of December 2025. Congratulations.
All right. Hi, Merle. Where do we go?
Before you go, would you like to say anything?
I'll make it really quick, but thank you guys. Thank you for continuously believing in Lake Park. The future is definitely bright. We thank you, Mayor. He has the heart the size of this room, if you can understand what I'm saying. So thank you for the commissioners as well. We appreciate everything you guys do, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have a discussion on the 2026 State of Florida Legislative Session with Ms. Ellen Bogdanoff of Becker and Politikoff. My apologies. Ellen, welcome back.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a pleasure to be here. Vice Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager. I think we have a short presentation, but I heard brevity is definitely appreciated. Certainly, obviously available for questions. I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible. Am I supposed to do this? So much easier when you had the screen over there. So
maybe we'll work on putting screens on the podium.
Here we go. So I'm Ellen Bogdanoff with Becker, and my colleague is Cody Rogers, and we represent you in Tallahassee. We always appreciate that opportunity. As you know, obviously, we're starting on the 12th of January. I know you all are coming up for League of City Days, but it is Palm Beach County Days the first week, which gets a little chaotic up there. And it's a 60-day session, and it ends on March 13th. So this is constitutionally, we normally start in March, but because this is an election year, they do it earlier, so everybody has time to go home and start campaigning. Basically, you have, and we'll talk about the two appropriations that we have this year, which once again is the traffic safety upgrade for $800,000, and we also have the septic to sewer, which is an ongoing project, and this year we're asking for $500,000. Your sponsors, obviously in the House, Tay Edmonds and Mac Bernard, are sponsoring. I actually saw Mac Bernard today, and he's just very excited about moving forward, and our fingers are crossed because we were successful last year, but unfortunately we were vetoed. So I know that both of your members went to go talk to the governor's office to see what we could do to avoid that this year. This is just the history, $3.3 million. This does not include several grants that you obtained, one from the federal government, another one that we got for the historic buildings that you have here. So we have several grants, but $3.3 million since 2017, and we hope to continue that trend. Budget overview. We do know that the governor came out with his recommended budget, and it is about what it was last year, which is about a little over $17 billion. The outlook is a little bit different than it has been in the past. We've been kind of flush with money between the federal government and all of the COVID money, but also the revenue's not going to necessarily be the same, and they also increase the ability for the legislature to increase reserves. Right now it was always capped at 3.9%, and now they're going to allow them to, basically sock away up to 6%. This is a conservative legislature, and I know they're worried about that rainy day because the revenues are not going to consistently come in. Everybody's always worried that it's going to stop at some point. And we've kind of been flat. There was the first quarter, I think we had a little bit more than anticipated, but they don't believe that trend is going to continue, and that has been the projections. So we could probably anticipate that there's going to be a little bit of a rollback on how many projects that we've had in the past. Last year it was basically the same, $117.4 billion after the governor's vetoes, and unfortunately we were victim to that. They think we're going to basically focus on the same things that we have in the past, which is the popular tax cuts, investments in affordable housing, which we know how important that is, especially in Palm Beach County, increase for healthcare workers and providers, Florida's Universal School Voucher Program, which has ballooned significantly, and Medicaid growth, and a shortfall in employee health insurance programs, which consistently we always have that shortfall in the the city manager had asked us to look at a number of bills, and I will tell you right now, we're a few weeks out from session, so not all of the bills have been filed, but we consistently use the issues that are important to you, and we tag those bills so we can watch them. Some of them are helpful, and some of them are not so helpful. So we're constantly in communication, obviously, with the city manager and obviously the commission to say, okay, what do we need to do? Are there amendments? The League of Cities is always very involved, and we also work with all of the different players in Palm Beach County. Here you have land use regulations by Abbott and Senator Gates. This particular bill is the fix to Senate Bill 180. Which I know was problematic for everybody because it really kind of handcuffed a lot of the local governments. I don't know how it's going to end up. We didn't do a deep dive here, but we'll continue to keep you, in the loop on this. If there are particular amendments that you think are going to be helpful, especially when it comes to the size of a particular community, just let us know, because we'll go to the sponsors and we'll let them know. I served with Senator Gates. He's very reasonable, and I think he would be open to amendments if it made sense. These are just, again, I don't want to go into the nitty gritty of these. We just kind of highlighted a few bills. This is the expand contractor protections for delays in public construction. This is not necessarily a positive thing for local government, so I always encourage you all to take a deep dive into some of these bills, because there's some preemption, which basically, especially on the permitting side, you want to make sure that these bills are not going to be problematic. Obviously, your town attorney is very competent to go review these, and we can communicate directly if you so desire, so that if there are amendments, we can draft them together. Housing is another one. This is the ADU, which I know that you have a specific interest in. So these are the dwelling units where it would preempt local governments from prohibiting, which a lot of them do. It's my understanding you all are very supportive of this, but there are a lot of communities that are not. So I think there's going to be a strong division on the local jurisdictional level as to whether or not they support this. And these are a host of other bills. Again, there's going to be more, a lot more. And we are going to send weekly reports so that you all know what's going on with the bills. A lot of these aren't going to go anywhere. And then it depends on kind of the climate and what's going on. And as you know, there's kind of been a contention between the House and the Senate and the governor. So when stuff like that happens, a lot doesn't necessarily move depending on whose priority it is. But these are just some of the other ones that we've highlighted, and there's even more. And this is just, we only have about, 350 filed to date, out of potentially, a lot of times there's up to 3,000 bills filed, and we have very few bills that have filed to date. What we might see is a flood of bills that come in these last 4 weeks, and in that case, we will update our list. Property tax. I know this is the subject matter that everybody's setting their hair on fire. Let me kind of give you the good news. I have talked to a number of the senators, including your own, and nobody really thinks anything's going to happen. The House is very committed to seeing something happen, and from when I've talked to the senators, there's not a strong appetite to be as aggressive as the House has been or as aggressive as the governor wants to be. And obviously, you need both chambers. They believe something's going to happen, but on a much smaller scale, where it's not going to be a huge impact to the local governments. Maybe something with homestead exemption, maybe something with veterans, maybe something with seniors that will definitely be meaningful to taxpayers, but isn't going to necessarily chop the head off of local governments who won't be able to afford to pay police and fire and all of those other important things, the services that you have to pay for. It's kind of a sense. I always say to people, it ain't over till it's over, so you never know, and we are keeping an eye on all of this. But right now, as it stands today, the Senate has indicated to us that there's not a strong appetite. It could change, and we will continue to keep an eye on it. But that was kind of good news to hear that maybe there's going to be, the Senate's going to kind of temper what is happening and the rhetoric of basically eliminating property tax, which is not really, everybody understands, is a realistic option. When I was in the legislature, we talked about this in 2009. The House was very strong on doing this property tax swap. It was a priority of the then Speaker, and it was dead on arrival. MSTU, I know this is another important issue that you guys are watching. Right now, as of today, the bill has not been filed. And we don't know if it's going to be filed. We do know there's been a lot of pushback. I know a lot of the concerns that a lot of the local jurisdictions have been heard, and it's kind of in a holding mode. Nobody, and I will tell you this, the legislature has not had an appetite in a number of years of creating new special taxing districts. As a matter of fact, they have worked to try to eliminate taxing districts over the last several years. So even if it is filed, it's going to have an uphill battle. But right now, it's on hold, and we have no indication. I mean, I could say it tonight, and tomorrow they could file it. But as of today, there was no indication that it was going to be filed, and we're unclear as, we'll, again, continue to monitor it, talk to the chair of, the delegation to say, are you going to do this or not? And I think they're just holding off because they don't seem to have the level of support they thought they were going to have for it. Thank you. If you have any specific questions, I'm happy to try to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I will make it up. So just let me know. It's
Okay, well, I want to thank you, Ellen, for that presentation. You're always insightful and to the point, and that's exactly great for us, as well as if we don't understand something, you're well-versed at bringing it down to our level sometimes in layman's terms as well. So I appreciate you for who you are, what you bring to the table as far as your firm is concerned, and we look forward to more partnerships.
welcome.
In that.
And I always appreciate the fact that you never kill the messenger. And I want to compliment you guys on this. This was pretty amazing. I know it was important to you, and this happened in 2 hours. So this was pretty impressive that you were able to do this, and we may need to upgrade it before session before you all come up.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted to compliment your staff. It was a great job.
Thank you.
I have one little question.
Comments or questions?
I do.
Okay, Commissioner Thomas, we'll start with you.
I would say, what's the best of the two evils? In the last 3 years, we had the issues of property insurance. Over and over and over. They even had special session on property insurance, and then nothing happened. And then the last 2 years, it's been about property taxes, okay? And for individuals who have been here, and we understand the ups and downs as it relates to the cap and and the homestead exemptions and other exemptions, that are there. And of course, sitting on this side of the dais and understanding the importance of our property taxes. What really hurts is that huge increase in insurance that property owners, if they're still having a mortgage on their home, is included in escrow, and if not, having to pay that. And then, of course, programs that have been out there, which is, I guess, Fortify Your Home, where they're asking you to harden it by putting in impact windows, putting in new roof, which costs a lot. You go on, you put that onto the property, it becomes part of the assessed value that, that's there. But yet there is no relief for the property owner. So I'm just asking, if something was to go before and to move, that's going to be a little bit more palatable to, I don't mean seasonal residents, not that there's anything, but for those who actually live here on an ongoing basis, what can we do? And especially here in Palm Beach County, where we have just seen property values, escalate, and for us who are just trying to maintain it, it becomes difficult. So I know that's a little convoluted, but
No, so what we're finding is that when they do some of their polling, that most people are much more concerned with insurance than they are property taxes.
Yeah.
Property taxes is something they can calculate when they buy a home, then all of a sudden they buy a home and they get an insurance quote and they're backing out of the contract. However, what we are seeing, because of some of the reforms that they have made, especially when it comes to tort reform, we're starting to see insurance companies request reductions in their, in their insurance rates. So it's happening, right? But again, it's like the old adage has been, is like, we don't really have an insurance problem, we have a hurricane problem. It's always going to be more expensive in Florida. But what they're trying to do, and I don't see a lot of bills that are trying to address insurance, because they're waiting to see that the reforms that they've passed in the last 3 to 4 years, how they're taking on, what impact are they really having? And we're seeing a number of insurance companies, especially homeowners insurance companies, start to request rate reductions. And we are good until the next storm. So, and the good news is we have, I think, what was the number? It was $16.75 billion in reserve. So, and I was actually with Byron Donalds, who's a candidate. He's a congressman. He's a candidate for governor. I don't know if he's going to win or not, but he is completely focused on insurance because he understands that is a major issue. There's no easy fix. It's I was in the insurance business for 16 years. It's highly complicated. I think the tort reform changes they made are really starting to take hold. So hopefully we see that. As far as property taxes, it's never been the number one issue, but it is more of an issue for, I would say, seniors who are looking to downsize. And one of the proposals that people had talked about, which I don't know, maybe they will consider, and keep in mind, whatever passes still has to go on the ballot and has to be passed by the voters, and that is to increase the portability for seniors. So if they do want to downsize, they can downsize and not necessarily have their property taxes. And the other one is, like, if you've lived in your house over 20 years and you're over the age of, 65, that maybe you don't pay property taxes. I don't know that that's, I think, the solution, because we have a lot of seniors and a lot of people who have lived here more than 20 years, but I think they're going to try to focus on trying to figure out, is there something they can do for the most vulnerable who are at risk of losing their homes?
And just to clarify that in terms of the seniors, we're just talking, if they do pass that with the 65 and over, they wouldn't be paying property taxes. That's just on the ad valorem side, correct?
On the what?
Ad valorem side, not the non.
Correct.
Not the non-ad valorem.
Not the non-ad valorem, and we always exclude school board. And there are groups that are talking, like the Children's Services Council. They want to be able to exclude the special taxing districts as well. So you're not going to pay nothing, but it's going to hurt, And then if they put where you have to cover police, they don't talk about fire, but you have to cover police, that also adds an additional burden to local governments.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And just to clarify, a lot of these property tax bills are for homestead properties, not for non-homestead properties.
All of them. Yeah, they're not, historically speaking, other than the cap, the 10% cap on non-homesteaded property, it's never really been a politically popular issue because, let's be realistic, it's to help the voters, right? So, you have to always look at the political angle of this stuff, and, they did cap because it was getting out of control, and we do rely a lot on, snowbirds and people who invest in Florida, so that was important, and it was really hurting commercial businesses as well.
So, Mr. Vice Mayor, if I could,
No, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, and the mayor said it, and I know I've spoken to many of y'all as well. Ellen, Cody, you guys are always extremely responsive to us. We send something to you, it's like within minutes. It seems like you get back with us, you give us an understanding of what the issue is. We can't thank you enough for what you guys do for our town. Thank you. And thanks for your support in this, too. I want to say thank you to our communications folks, our department, Merrill and Lamar. They really put a lot of time and effort into this. And, the idea is that when we go up for legislative action days or you guys get a chance to see a representative or a senator, this is easy to be able to hand out.
Yeah.
And I, the other thing that I wanted to mention real quick, Merrill and I had a conversation last night. We were going to talk about in one of the upcoming newsletters, maybe the next one, some of the legislative issues that are priority for our community so that our community can start getting an understanding of these issues and maybe even help advocate for some of the issues so that it's understood what you guys are trying to do and where you're trying to go with it. So again, thank you for everything you guys do. Appreciate you both.
Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity.
So thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Commissioner Linden.
Thank you. I just wanted to bring up property taxes. I've spoken to some legislators, senators, and so forth. that bill is all over the place right now. And as far as what they want to add to it, don't want to add, take away from it, and so forth. Plus, I understand it does not have to go through the governor to pass. Is that correct?
These go through the ballot. They go through, actually, usually they go through the Supreme Court to make sure the language is appropriate, right? So, but the legislature can put anything they want on the ballot. I have to get back to you. I don't know that the governor can veto. I have to determine whether or not a governor can, but I think the bigger hurdle, to be honest with you, are the voters. And here's the concern with the voters, because you guys are a little tied in terms of being able to go out there, and you could do it as individuals, but you can't spend any money to talk to your voters, right? Because you're not allowed to do that on the campaign. But I think the concern is that I even had a county commissioner in a county to go unnamed say to me, I was talking to my son, he goes, I'm going to vote for it. He goes, I'm a county commissioner. How are we going to pay our bills? He goes, I don't want to pay property taxes. So it's a little concerning because a lot of people don't necessarily equate the services that they receive with the taxes that they pay. So it's really going to be incumbent upon all of the local, you all to be out there, obviously as commissioners, to kind of talk to the people about what it really means to your city. And I will tell you, the League and a lot of other groups have done a tremendous job taking every single proposal, and you're right, there's a ton of them, right? We don't know which ones are going to make it. There are a ton of them, but showing that each and every one of them, what hit it takes to every single community in this state. And I think it's probably eye-opening for a lot of people. Look, I always try to have a lot of faith in the legislature for them to understand that, in the end, they need to be reasonable. And, again, my conversations, because it's really the House. The Senate has no bills. Mac Bernard does. Senator Mac Bernard does have some bills. But the main bills that would be kind of considered are coming from the House. And we don't know where the governor is either, right? So he may not be supportive of them. He does still have a great bully pulpit. He's still very popular, and we're not quite sure where this is going. So I think the jury's out, and I always say to people, we're not in panic mode yet. We're not in, let's set our hair on fire mode yet, which usually happens in politics later on. But I'm going to definitely keep you guys, posted on what's happening. And that's a really good question, because I should know this off the top of my head as to whether or not the governor can actually veto a bill that's supposed to go on the ballot, and I don't think he can. It goes on the ballot as presented, and usually they're very careful, because a lot of these are not very clear, and it's confusing to the voter, and they don't necessarily always know what they're getting.
All right, since it's a blanket statement of property taxes, we, in my opinion, need to be more involved with the amendments going in there, because I support reduction in property tax with certain provisions, and my goodness, like you said, there's a ton out there, and I think a reduction should be across the board, not just ad valorem, because if you look at your tax bill, ad valorem is probably 20% of the rest of your taxes. And so how do we stay more on top of or abreast of what amendments are going there, and how effective can we be with the amendments?
So my sense is this is how it's usually going to go down, right? In the Florida House, they have all of these proposals. I think there's like 8 or 9 of them. They're going to pass as is, right? They're not going to mess with them, because that's just the way the House operates. They're going to pass them all. They're going to send them over to the Senate, and the Senate's going to sit on them, and that's when negotiations start to happen. If this is a top priority for the House, and the Senate has another top priority, that's when the horse trading starts. What are we willing to do? So in terms of, what amendments, I'm going to be honest with you, we have no clue. And this is probably a later in session negotiation, depending on what the priorities are of the Senate. I just know today, I was on a call with a client with one of the senators from Broward and Miami-Dade County, and he basically told her, don't even have this conversation, nothing's happening. I'm not convinced of that because you never know the horse trading at the end in terms of what
Right.
they want. But he was absolutely convinced that this was a complete wasted exercise and that nothing was going to happen. So I take that, and you take what the House is doing, and you say, yeah, we're somewhere in the middle, maybe, right? What's the appetite? So I don't tell people not to be vigilant. I don't tell people not to pay attention, and we do pay attention because it's important to. But right now, all indication is that most of these proposals are just not going to go anywhere, especially the most egregious ones.
And I'll make this, because I follow the weekly updates naturally. We all should on what's going on up there. That'll be something I want to bring up to them because I'd like on their weekly updates to give us more information on pending amendments or dropped amendments. That's going to determine my vote one way or the other, so.
Well, very often, just so you know what we do, if we have an amendment that's dropped, that's problematic, I'm forwarding it immediately, to your city manager. Town manager, I don't wait. I don't wait till the end of the week reporting. It's something that you have to act on, especially as you get later in session, where you only have 24 hours notice before you're on the agenda. So we're in real time, and I will communicate with Richard, and then he will kind of engage you all in terms of, because it's easier to have one point of contact and let him do that if there's something that's problematic. And we've done that in the past, and we did that with the CRAs and when we went up there. When we're in session, we're in real time. We're not, I'll do an end of the week report about what happened, but I'm in real time when amendments drop.
One last question. On the CRA, it's supposed to go away in 82, 80, whatever it is. What is it? 32. Thank you. Any updates on that?
I don't know if we have we don't have any CRA bills yet, but I know that Representative Giambardo is very interested in that issue, and, he is the committee chair that it would, kind of come from, and that's who we spoke to last year. I stay in touch with him to see what they're thinking of. Here's what I would tell you. Elections years are kind of exhausting. They try not to make too much trouble because they have to go out and they want to get out on time, number one. And they're not looking for, they get very bold in the first year in the controversy, and there's less going on in an election year just because of the nature of the beast. We'll keep an eye on it for you. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if there's any fixes that you all want if a bill comes up. But again, I share the bills. You guys look at them, and we make sure that we present your concerns. And the egregious bill that they had the other year, most of it didn't pass. It just kind of died.
I apologize. More than one last question.
Sure.
We all have a tendency to go up to Tallahassee at the end. Well, this one will be the end of January. Should we have one spokesperson representing the town of Lake Park, or is it better if 3 to 5 of us all talk to the same senator and or representative?
What we like to do is divide and conquer. So what you get into committee weeks, sometimes it's very difficult to get appointments because everybody's pulled in 15 different directions. We could literally, and sometimes we had 2 or 3 appointments all in the same time slot. So the advantage is if I've got 5 different commissioners up there and the mayor or whatever, we can divide and conquer. We can send one here, one there. So I don't think you need to deliver the same message to the same senator. What we try to do is divide and conquer and kind of spread you out. If you can all go together, it's great. I think it shows passion and commitment, and I think they appreciate that. But at the end of the day, if we have to split you up, we have more bodies because, during session, sometimes, you have to clone yourself in order to get it all done.
That did happen.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
No. I just want to say thank you for all you do fighting for Lake Park, and thank you for all the information.
You're welcome.
Okay. Commissioner O'Rourke.
I wanted to thank my good friend Ellen Bognoff for what you do for our town. But I also wanted to make a comment with regard to going up to Tallahassee. One of the other things, I was called in during the CRA process where they were trying to preempt us out of CRAs. I was sent up there to speak before the Senate committee, and that's another thing that you can do, that you can prepare some remarks and go to those committee meetings, and you get, it's like public comment time. You can get up there and you actually address the senators, and I found that was very helpful. I had information that they weren't aware of,
Right.
and presented that why CRAs are important to our community and specifically to our community. So
We always try to encourage it. I mean, timing is everything. You're going to be up there. You're already pre-scheduled. We don't know when committees are going to happen. But if there's a bill on the agenda, we pivot. You know, you just have to be very nimble when you're in Tallahassee. I know Cody will tell you, you know, sometimes you sometimes do 30,000 steps, right? So if you haven't met your steps, just go to Tallahassee. It's sometimes taxing because the floors are hard, but you're doing a lot of steps because you're going back and forth, and the Senate doesn't care what the House is doing, vice versa, and you could have two committees going on at the same time. So the more of you that come up, the merrier. We're working on the schedule now, and we're going to try to reserve. You know, we don't always know appointments because, again, the schedules don't come out until the week before. And you can get on the list, but nobody will make commitments until they know whether or not they're going to be in committee. So we'll do the best we can, and as always, we look forward to you all coming up and hanging out and doing your stuff.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ellen, for your
Thank
time.
you.
go do your stuff now, Ellen.
I'm going to go do my stuff.
All
Thank
right.
you all very much. Appreciate the
Ellen,
opportunity.
one last thing. Does everybody know Cody?
I don't. Well, Cody Rogers is my colleague. He's my partner in crime up in Tallahassee, and he does a lot of the tracking for you guys. And I know Merrill and Cody have become best friends in the last week trying to put together this trifold. So.
Thank you, Cody, for being here.
Thank
as
you.
well.
Cody, thank you.
All right. Captain Sanford, I'm going to let you come up and give your report.
Good evening, Commission and Town of Lake Park residents. I'm Tara Sanford, your captain here. Town Manager Richard asked me to speak a little bit about a operation that we've newly implemented here. It's our holiday operation plan, dubbed Operation Kelsey Express, Christmas Express, sorry. It's just to ramp up patrols in our big box stores in our business district. We're going out. We've delegated a considerable amount of overtime and additional resources to make sure we're visible, make sure our residents feel safe. As you know, it's a crazy time. It's getting later, darker, much earlier. People are out in droves. Shopping, we want them to go feel welcome, come to Lake Park, spend, and don't have to worry about the Grinches stealing our holiday cheer. So if you go to stores and you see the lights going, or you see our deputies out making contact with our business districts and our business owners and our residents, it's just, we're ramping up patrols. It's nothing bad, nothing. We just want to keep the Grinches at bay. So that's all. Thank you.
Actually, Captain Sanford, I just want to say thank you for you and your officers for what you did just recently with the Shop with a Cop. I attended that. That was very well attended by our community. I thank Bridges for collaborating with you on it, as well as our resident Santa who was on hand with Mrs. Claus, Mrs. Linden as well, to work with the community, work with the children, work with those that have hardships, and it's just another notch on the belt of what we do for our community, another notch on your belt as well as a captain to be proactive in the community, and we thank you for that. So, thank you. Okay, next we have. I'm sorry, my apologies. Commissioner Thomas, would you like to say something in regards to this, Captain Sanford? Okay, no problem. Go ahead, please do so. Absolutely.
Yeah. Something pretty interesting to me, you know, we measure, I guess, the safety of your community based on the type of incidents, that happen. And most recently, someone said to me, here you live in Palm Beach County, and you don't have to worry about what happens in Dade. Every other incident that we hear, there's some type of violent crime, and here it is, your violent crime up here is what they call it now, porch pirating, I guess. It's something of that nature, right? And I would like to say, and I hope I'm not jinxing myself, okay, that you've been, your officers have really been good about monitoring our community, because it's just not one of the things that I hear about, in our town. And it is prevalent all around, and especially, of course, with the holidays. And so it's almost beautiful to be in an insulated situation like this, where sometimes I forget that packages come, because I'm not a person that really shops by mail. So it's nice to know that we haven't belonged to that club, nor do I want us to belong to the club, but we really feel comfortable being in our community, and thanks for that. One last thing I will say too, my neighbor just moved back into our community, and that's something that I'm urging a lot of property owners who may be renting their homes or properties that they have, but to really come back and enjoy what it feels like to live in our town. And I happen to have a neighbor that just did that recently, and one of the things that they stated was they had a family member that came and visited, and in the middle of the night they woke up and their front door was wide open. No, their front door was wide open. And so the person became very alarmed, like, oh my goodness, what happened? And the wonderful thing is to say is that no one entered that home. And yeah, it's, and we have to really give kudos to that. And the other thing is that, and it happens to a number of my neighbors too, where they leave home and forget to put the garage door down, and come back at the end of the day, nothing is gone. And so that means a couple of things. One, we have the officers are out there, and I think the other part is too is that as a community, we keep our eyes on each other, and that is something that we should continue to promote in our community, that the best law enforcement is your neighbor. Neighbors taking care of neighbors. And so I just wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. To piggyback off that, you see something, say something. The community is fantastic about coming to us and saying, hey, this looks out of the norm, or can you check this out? And we take a great deal of pride in keeping this community safe. Our officers are significantly passionate. The investment that the town of Lake Park and the leadership have made, and the cameras, we're quick about identifying those people, getting them arrested, and getting them out of the community. But I definitely echo those sentiments. So, thank you.
Okay.
And that means you agree that we should close our garage doors, lock our cars, right?
Yes, that definitely helps tremendously.
Anything on this end? Okay. Well, thank you again, Captain Sanford. Next, we have public comment cards. A lot of these public comment cards have left from the previous meeting, but I'm going to just go through this again. Amy Angela, I did see her leave, as well as Tim Sullivan, as well as Cesar. Oh, Tim, you still
Tim's
here?
there.
Well, see, there you go. That's why I went through the list of names. So please, Tim, come on up.
Thank you, Mayor, and everybody else. I'll keep it brief since I already spoke once. I just wanted to speak one more time about 10th and Park. I think it's a really ambitious project. I really look forward to seeing this town, the community, and the elected officials work together to build a downtown that is thriving with new residents. I think that's really important for our future. I believe we can foster a business community that serves the area and the downtown itself, instead of being a town that serves the larger towns and cities around us. We live in a very up-and-coming affluent area, lots of development going all around, and we're competing for those businesses to come here. So I hope we're able to keep that momentum going. On that note, the railroad crossing at Park Avenue, I do believe is a safety concern that we need to keep talking about, so we can keeping it in mind as these development projects come forward. The Bright Line is the deadliest train in America, and it comes right through our neighborhood. We've been very lucky at Park Avenue, but we have had some incidents just north and just south of us. If you've ever been caught in that incident when North Lake closes at the railroad crossing, what that does in Lake Park is about as bad as it gets in terms of traffic, gridlock, and you would say roadway chaos. Dixie and Park Avenue backs up in every direction, past Water Tower. People are trying to get off North Lake to get around this, when this unfortunate incident happens. And also when they were doing, I think they had North Lake closed for a week earlier this year, so they were trying to plan ahead on this. I think it's really important that we keep that in mind, especially as 10th and Park gets developed. That's going to make traffic temporarily very even worse at that intersection. So hopefully as we're crossing that bridge and talking with the developer and safety plans and with our wonderful public safety officials to make sure that we keep the town, the contractors, and everyone else safe. And I think that one thing that could help with that is if the North Lake and Bright Line closes, I think there does need to be an officer dispatched to Dixie and Park Avenue to mediate traffic, because it becomes almost like Grand Theft Auto. Just people become really unsafe, and I think that some extra patrols in that immediate scenario when an incident happens, due to the Bright Line at North Lake, or God forbid at Park Avenue as well, that we have extra deployments of officers to help keep the town from becoming gridlock and chaos. Thank you so much for all of your efforts, and hope you're enjoying the holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you. Cesani, I think he did leave. Pat Welsa, they did leave. Natasha, I did see her leave, as well as Igor. Constantine Chabot, I believe they did leave. But we do have Diane Sofinos that is here. Please come on up.
Diane Safinas, 338 Bayberry Drive. Merry Christmas to each of you and to your families. I have an email here from resident Kelly Steele, 301 Lakeshore Drive, that she would like for me to present to each of you tonight. Members of the commission, town staff, and fellow residents of Lake Park, thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. While I am unable to be there in person, I am watching the meeting live and appreciate the chance to share my perspective. Lake Park has been navigating a transition in management style for almost a year now, while also managing a very full agenda with significant redevelopment issues at the forefront. This is when steady, experienced leadership matters most. Under the prior administration, many residents and staff experienced a top-down, pressure-driven environment marked by intimidation and bullying. That individual is no longer here, but the effects of that leadership style do not simply vanish. Some people are still operating under its influence, which is why a clear break and a true fresh start are so important. That is why I strongly support our town manager, Richard Reed. Richard brought to Lake Park years of town management experience and a skill set this community benefits from every day. We are fortunate that he chose to come here and invest his time, expertise, and leadership in our town. He understands municipal operations, complex redevelopment issues, and how to keep residents, not politics or pressure, at the center of decisions. Just as important, Richard has backbone. He is not easily swayed. He is not here to give developers whatever they want. He cannot be persuaded away from doing what is right for the town of Lake Park. His judgment is independent. His standards are clear, and his integrity is unquestionable. He leads with strong character and a serious work ethic. He is prepared, steady, he listens. He evaluates carefully, and he sets clear expectations for professionalism throughout Town Hall. That means being honest about who we want working for and with the town of Lake Park. We need sharp, forward-thinking, motivated individuals on our town staff. people who value transparency, accountability, and service to residents. And we need leadership that cannot be pressured or persuaded to compromise those values. I also want to say this plainly. Referring a matter to the State Inspector General without first having a direct conversation with Richard was the wrong approach. Professional concerns should begin with professional communication. Undermining leadership does not move Lake Park forward. As we look toward 2026, I am optimistic about Lake Park's future. Support Richard Reed, stand behind him, give him the opportunity to lead, allow him to do the job he was hired to do. Lake Park needs steady leadership. Lake Park has it in Town Manager Richard Reed. Thank you. Wishing you all a blessed Christmas and a Happy New Year. Kelly Steele. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Katia Ziskova.
Hello. Katia Zhistkova, 1018 7th Street. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm here to speak about process, stability, and fairness. And our town manager is currently undergoing a formal performance evaluation. That evaluation exists to ensure an objective, structured, and professional review. Given the tension that arose at the last meeting and the fact that this evaluation has already been underway for approximately 6 months because the town could not reach agreement on which evaluation tool to use, it is especially important that this process now be completed promptly, fairly, and without prejudgment. Prolonged uncertainty is not healthy for the town, its staff, its leadership, and it sends a wrong message to residents. Again, given the tension from last meeting, if at any point, any motion or statement expressing no confidence is considered before that evaluation is completed, it would be premature and it would undermine the integrity of the process. Regardless of individual opinions, due process matters. Conclusions, evaluation must come first. Conclusions, if any, must come after. The town is also engaged in complex and consequential matters, including active peace renegotiations. During such periods, leadership stability is essential. Avoiding premature actions protects staff morale, the town's negotiation position, and public trust. I respectfully urge the Commission to complete the evaluation fully and objectively before considering any further action. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael Steinhauer. And for the record, I have shared your written testimony across the dais.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. This is my wishes for 2026. I speak as a private resident on behalf of the Society for Advancement of Civic Engagement. In keeping with the holiday spirit, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Resident advocacy and engagement are staying in town. We've made a list and we checked it twice. Soon we'll see who's naughty or nice. This is not in any priority order. They are all critical in their own way. Number one, no waivers at no time for no projects townwide. Number two, establish consistency between town zoning codes, the comprehensive plan, and the low-density residential development, and start the Lake Park Vision Project right away. Number three, work towards acceptance of the KH Consultants' recommended option for 7 stories, total height, all in. Number four, pass a developer disclosure ordinance with a recusal option. Number five, support all efforts to build the capacity for a program of residents' contribution to public safety. Number six, liberalize the 3-minute public comment practice to include direct dialogue between us. Number seven, for the next fiscal year, pass an all-encompassing town-neutral budget until we can put our fiscal house in order and live within our means. Number 8, relocate the sunset celebrations downtown. Establish monthly themed evenings, all business doors open, bright lights, music stages at the both ends of the street, wandering minstrels, face painting for the kids and adults, vendors, information tables, and more. Move the sunset celebration downtown. 9, terminate the P3 contract for simple failure to meet both the needs of the town and its residents. Fear no legal action. Number 10, we declare a vote of confidence for Town Manager Richard Reed. His idea of a resident academy demonstrates his values. Complete his performance evaluation immediately. It is an embarrassment on you that this has not yet been completed, and you've had plenty of time. I have previously provided you with sample language options for a few of these options. Let's start 2026 off on the right foot and work together to achieve the destiny the town of Lake Park deserves and accomplish resolution of these items as a measure of our success. My friends, it's so easy to be nice. I fear the naughty path may result in termination of some of your seats. And a happy holiday to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that is the end of public comment. Next, we have the consent agenda. If there are any items that wish to be pulled, please say so now. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion. Commissioner Thomas.
I'd like to pull 7, 8, and 9.
Okay, let it be for the record that items 7, 8, and 9 will be pulled from consent. Any other requests? Commissioner Lynn.
I'd like to pull 4, 7, and 10.
Okay, 7 has already been pulled. Item number 4 will be pulled, and item number 10 will be pulled. We only have 3 items left.
All right.
So, any other requests? Vice Mayor? Okay, so we have left on consent items 3, 5, and 6. I will entertain a motion to approve those items on consent with the adjustments of 4 and 7 through 10 that have been pulled.
I make a motion to approve item on consent, item 3, 5, and 6.
Okay, second.
Second.
Any other further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The consent passes unanimously. Before we go any further, I just wanted to, never mind. I won't say nothing yet because it's actually in regards to one of these items that were pulled. So we will start with item number 4 that was pulled from consent. Resolution 99-1225, purchase of 32-foot dovetail equipment trailer, Wright Trailers, Inc., for $23,044.40. Commissioner Linden, you pulled this item from consent. I will let you begin.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Have we purchased the piece of equipment yet that this trailer will be used for?
The equipment for the trailer we're just getting the trailer.
We have the equipment
Yes.
already.
Yes, we're getting the trailer.
And what do we need the trailer for? What piece of equipment?
It's for the digger that we have to transport it around the town, and this was budgeted and was presented into the budget.
I realize it was budgeted. I understand that. I was part of that discussion. All right. But there's also a case where you can operate some equipment, heavy equipment, on public roads for incidental use back and forth. Have you looked into that? Do we need it for one piece of equipment, or is this multiple uses?
Well, we could use it for multiple equipment, but the main purpose is for that equipment, but we don't have a large trailer to transport our equipment. So if we have to take any equipment to any shops or out of the town, we have to either rent a trailer or obtain that trailer to be able to move our equipment or move any equipment out of to a shop or anything. So that's why we asked for it, and we explained, and we have provided additional details in the budget for it. And it was approved by the commission, and we just moved forward to acquire it.
All right, well, while I know we approved it, it's also $23,000 for a piece of equipment that seems that it's going to sit for a number of days, months, if not years. What kind of vehicle is needed to pull this trailer, and do we have it?
We do have the equipment. I could give you the information if you allow me. I don't have it right now with you, but I can more than willing to share that information with you.
All right, because to pull a trailer of this size with a piece of equipment on the back takes quite a large vehicle to pull it, and I didn't think we had that equipment in.
We do have the equipment, Commissioner.
Okay. Well, if we have the equipment, then thank you. That answers my question. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Any other questions on this item? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve item number 4.
Second.
Second.
Any other further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Okay, the resolution passes 4-1. Next, we have item number 7 that was pulled from consent, Resolution 102-1225, an agreement with Kelsey Park Splash Pad, RFQ number 121-2025 for professional architectural design and consulting services with Kimberly Horn and Associates, Inc. for $123,125.65. Commissioner Thomas, I know you pulled the item, and Commissioner Linden, you were going to pull the item, which was already pulled, but I will start with Commissioner Thomas first, and then we will go over to Commissioner Linden.
Okay. My main purpose is that Kelsey Park has been a concern for our residents, and I didn't want this to be just hidden underneath the consent agenda. I just wanted it to be on record that the request that's being made here is for the design of it, for construction plans based on what I read, and then for permitting.
Yes.
However, there are parts to how this is going to be done, which is the scope of work, what will be required, that there are going to be public meetings as it relates to this, and at the end of it, there would be presentations, and commission would then
Have their input. Yes.
come forward for approval.
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to be very succinct, with that, and ensuring, too, that this budget that we have presented is the budget that it's going to stay under,
Well,
based
okay.
on what I'm seeing here.
So let me give you a perspective of
Please.
what literally the project covers right now. The endeavor that we want for the project, we may not be able to fulfill the entire wish for the park, but we're aiming to have the main amenities of the splash pad, right, depending on the input from the commission, and have all the infrastructure, underground infrastructure in place. And we're still pursuing to get additional grants so then we can finalize the whole amenities of the splash pad. Because once we start using the money for the design, we won't have much for constructions because we have to do underground infrastructure and then we have to design and build the entire splash pad. So we've been very adamant explaining that we at one point we may not have that full glamour of a splash pad that we want because literally we just have $400K for it. But we do want to have the infrastructure in place and develop the full park.
Okay, and thank you for explaining that. As I'm looking at, how the tasks are like broken out, and I hear you as far as what we received. I think this was from CDBG funds, right? And so we have the CDBG funds that we're going to be using for this, which is anticipated to cover the design and hopefully partial.
So the design, the CDBG grants is only covering $25K, and the town is paying the rest of the design, because the CDBG only allowed us to use 25 from the 400.
Okay, so then we're putting in really the bulk of this,
Yes,
of
the
of the professional services
Yes.
here, right?
Yes.
Okay, and with that being said, I would hope that from the standpoint of Commission trying to be conservative in this, that if the meetings could occur as it relates to what the public wants to see, right, that form of feedback, but if there can be some cost savings as it relates to presentation or additional, like meetings that they don't necessarily have to come because you're looking at all of those professionals that are there, but that they could receive feedback, that would be helpful. I think from the point of view that I'm hearing is that the public really wants to provide input.
Okay.
And we haven't yet seen it in this as far as a survey of what they want, because I know some time back we had a plan for Kelsey Park. Right now, we're looking at elements of what we want to put into the park. And as you know, we've gone through a number of conversations whenever this comes up. So I'm looking very conservatively at this as of how we can get as much as we can get done, because I don't want to do a request for additional funding to do the design and construction and plans for it, right?
Perfect.
I want it to be done, and then we can look for additional funds for the actual construction.
Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
so in any way that we can
Maximize
Yes.
whatever revenues we have.
Yes.
In the
That's
design
what-
phase, so then it
Yes.
won't impact the construction
Yes,
phase.
yeah, okay, thank you.
Understood.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Linden.
Thank you. In my opinion, this needs to be moved to next year or possibly the year after. Well, I'm a large proponent of that splash pad. Nothing was taken into consideration for upkeep or insurance on this splash pad. And that's something we not addressed in any of this. So that would be a big concern of mine to begin with. The second concern, or the third, is we're going to have Kimley Horn and Associates design this, and if we can't build it for 2 years because next year our funding's not going to change a whole lot, we're not going to have the money, so now they're going to have to come back and readjust, redesign, and so forth. This is, in my opinion, the cart before the horse. Well, I love a splash pad. Also, we got to be conservative on what we can afford, what we can't afford, what grants we can get, if any, and what we can't. Also, in the explanation of this, it had it running 24 hours a day, and I have no idea why we'd run a splash pad when the park's closed. So I'm in favor of a splash pad, but this is bad timing as far as I'm concerned. Too many unanswered questions. Do you have any idea what the insurance would run?
No, I don't have idea.
And so no one looked into the insurance. Okay. And as far as upkeep goes, we really don't have any idea of what the upkeep would be. So, again, I pulled it because I didn't like all the pieces not being together. And as Commissioner Thomas said, we go out, we get all with the input from the people, what they want, what they don't want. Again, and we got 25% to work with here. It may be unaffordable, and what this town does not need is a disappointment after the input they put in. I say move it till we have some more money that we can work with, my opinion.
So, Commissioner, just for you to be aware, this is a CDBG grant, which we transfer from Burr Boston from the community center. Originally, this was designed; it was assigned for that project. We requested to the entity to transfer it for the splash pad for Kelsey Park. They allow us to do so. If we're not going to move forward to this project right now, we jeopardize the $400K that they're giving us.
Could you repeat that number of the grant?
$400K.
400,000,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
So if we move it, we lose the 400?
We just we lose the grant. We won't have that money available for us
When does the grant expire?
next year.
All right, so we bring this up next year when we have a projected idea of
So
addition.
Commissioner, next year we have to complete the project because the grant is up to next year.
All right, so if we have to complete it next year, we got a lot of money we got to come up with in order to get it done.
So, no.
And we don't have that money.
Commissioner, the design is covered. We're going to do the design of the project. Now, the full infrastructure, the full amenities may not be probably possible to construct, but all the infrastructure, underground infrastructure will be in place for us to then move for the additional components of the amenities for the splash pad. So let's say we won't have this grand splash pads, but we'll have a splash pad, but the additional elements that go with the splash pad we'll implement after we get additional funds. If we don't use the opportunity to use the money from these grants, we'll lose them.
And if we don't have it completed, your words, next year, we lose the grant. So,
If we don't have completed what we commit to do with the 400, we lose the grant.
And that's just involving the design work?
No, that's design and construction.
Oh, design
and
construction. Thank you.
so, and if the construction is not done, the splash pad is not completed, what happens to that grant money? We've
No,
violated.
Commissioner, what we've spoken with the entity is that based on the money that we have, right, we will not be able to complete the entire project with all the amenities. They are good with us completing the part of the splash pad. It's not going to be a grandiose splash pad like we spoke at one time that we wanted pirates and we wanted this, or that may not be able to happen. We can make it happen afterwards because we'll get more. We'll go out for more funds to see if we have them available. If they're available, we'll complete all those other additional adds on. But right now, our main focus is to have the splash pad and have all the underground infrastructure in place so then we could further add those add-ons. That's what we're looking for.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Thomas.
Okay. Mr. Morales, this was a concern too. You know, when we changed this, when we kept saying splash pad, right?
Yes.
Right? If you remember. And that was a big issue for me because I said, of course, what Commissioner Linden has said is very true because those were the discussions that we had in relates to being a splash pad and me saying that I don't want it to be an area where we have the unhoused go and take a shower, right? And I looked at the maintenance that was for that, and we talked about that, and we talked about the material that would be used, which is why I had suggested that we could possibly look at a fountain. We had already said the word splash pad, and we had done the grant with the word splash pad, so then we have continued to use the word splash pad. And before I said, could we say water feature?
Water feature.
Right, remember? Okay, I remember this because I look, right? But that was the whole point, because initially when the commission had approved what improvements that they wanted at Kelsey Park, that was one of those improvements that was part of the overall plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I am asking again, the input that we will get from the community on what exactly they'd like there as a water feature, because this has become a concern. We talked about if it was colorful, the fading of the paint, right? We talked about what's going to happen with all of these various materials, right? And the water. So what you are saying, Commissioner Linden, is very true. Thus, the reason why I said that. And to put on the record, because this is CDBG funds, we have to wait another, I believe, 8 years because we are a small community and we don't get those funds every year. So we would have to wait another 8 years for those funds to come back. No? I see. Wait, nope. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Go ahead on.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. We get CDBG funding every year. The 8 or 9 year gap is for large amounts in the amount of $300,000-$500,000. We do get, give or take, 40, 50 every year. The application is due generally the first week in March. So we can, and CDBG has been great to us in the past, letting us use the 40 or 50 that we get each year to build upon a project that we've done in the past, such as with the playground in Burt Bostrom Park, the playground in Kelsey Park.
Ilex Park.
Yes.
Ilex Park, exactly. So we've done those. Those are combination projects, you know, built on year after year. So that's something that we can consider when we apply in March of 26 to use that 40-50 to enhance, I'm sorry, to enhance the water feature.
So it's the large funds, that comes every...
Correct. What it's
that comes
called,
every...
it's actually a combination. There are, I believe, 9 communities within Palm Beach County, and they're listed alphabetically, so we're just funded in alphabetical order. It's not priority. And it's a combination of your annual 40, 50, whatever you get, plus what's called a community of hope, which is the large.
Right. And those large funds come based on where we are in the alphabet. And in our case, since there's 9 communities, we would have to wait the other 6 years for another large sum, but we can add every year based on the smaller amount.
Yes, and the way CDBG works, just for complete clarification, if we get, say, $43,700 this year, next year we're allowed to apply for $43,700. We may get 41, we may get 59. It depends on what they have available. Should we miraculously get 59, then the following year we can apply for the 59.
Yes.
And that's how the application process works for that.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. I just wanted to, put on the record some clarification of why we're in the position that we are in with the funding and what would happen if we don't, if we forfeit it. We would just have to go back on the bottom of the list again.
Yes, for quite some time.
Yeah, thank you.
And we never ever want to give back, I don't care if it's a nickel, we never ever want to give back money. And also, historically speaking, not just here, I mean, anywhere I've worked, if you gave back money, are we going to fund you again next year?
Correct.
So with CDBG, they have to fund us, but then if they end up with an extra pot of money, are they going to give it to us or are they going to give it to someone else who really used it?
Correct.
So we don't want to jeopardize our standing ever.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification, Merrill.
My pleasure.
Okay. Any other
Yeah,
questions?
stay there for a second, Merrill.
I'll do that.
Because, thank you. I brought up insurance for a reason. And if we do a splash pad, it's one thing. If we do the fountain, it's totally something different. Because it's a Jupiter that that person died.
No, it's not like that. It's more or
That's
less
a
like
fountain.
coming out of the
No.
street. We weren't even talking about that, no.
No, in the fountain that they, no, may I?
Okay.
The fountain where the person died was like a big fountain where they fell in.
I'm familiar with that,
Yeah.
right?
I believe
What I'm talking about is what we see down in Clematis, where the water jets out of the, out of the ground.
Yeah.
And that actually, and it plays music, and you don't, well, I wouldn't say it played music, but there's music that,
Correct.
Don't be telling my secret.
No, where I know what what you're
but
saying.
yes.
That's
Yeah,
where
but
I work.
the idea is that it's flush with the property, with the hard surface.
Yes.
And that it's very, I don't know what the maintenance is, but when I go there, it certainly looks in good condition because of the way they have it addressed. You don't even know that it even exists there until they actually turn on the fountain.
Correct.
So that was my idea because
Okay.
of the mere fact of insurance and maintenance.
Yeah, is it possible, Jamie, if you could find out, and I like the fact that Commissioner Thomas mentioned that in West Palm, because that's right next to my job, and it's basically, there's no, as you
Grade
articulated,
change or anything like that, yeah.
there's no extra features to it. It's simply a water feature that shoots up jets.
Like Millennium
And-
Park. It's
and-
like the Millennium Park. in
And in
Chicago.
terms of the insurance,
Yes,
such
write
as what
down.
Commissioner Linden is asking about, if you could find out from the city, from that municipality, how do they approach that aspect of it? Because those are good concerns that he has. And if we have somebody that's already established with something in their city, it's always good to get their
Absolutely.
perspective.
I'll
Yeah.
reach out.
Yeah, so,
I'll
So-
share the information.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Until we come back with that, is it conceivable that we table this to there's no rush on this, till the next commission meeting?
There is.
What's the rush?
Because you have to do the design and it has to
Yeah.
be spent.
So a 2.5 week delay is going to be that much of a difference?
Yes, because this is public.
Yeah.
You have to end up advertising and redoing it all over again. So it is. It's a big issue. In fact, we're behind in this.
So Commissioner, right now what we're looking is to award the contract for them to start the process on gathering the concept to develop the design. So as today we approve the contract, they'll still be in the process of gathering all the ideas and putting everything together, putting the scenario so then we can meet with the public. We could get the input from the public. We'll get the input from the commissioners. We'll get all the ideas together, and then they'll present a concept, and then we'll do the design.
If the insurance becomes unaffordable, what do we do?
So, so Commissioner, we've already made a decision to build something.
Who is we?
We, the commissioners.
Commission.
The commissioner already gave us a direction to design and build something based on the grant that we've been already awarded. The insurance, I agree with you, it's an element of discussion, but right now, we have to move forward because if not, we're going to lose the grant.
And correct me if I'm wrong, we have a comprehensive plan in place for the entire park, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Part of that comprehensive plan is a splash pad, correct?
That's correct.
And the park comprehensive plan is done in phases. And
That's
as a part of those phases, it is our job as staff, commission, and community, as I articulate earlier in that unity statement I made, to first give you what we like to see, to have our staff find the funding for what we can do to maximize anything we can have that doesn't have any constraint to the residents.
That's correct.
And 3, to put everything together in place to create this perfect image of what we're looking for.
That's correct.
Sir.
Well, I'll just go on the record to say we're making a mistake if we don't have all the answers. I understand what you say. I was part of that discussion. But at the same token, where are we going to get the extra money from? We have no idea what it's going to cost. I don't know if it's cheap, inexpensive, or crazy, all right? We're going to spend grant money to build something that we may not be able to complete. That's all. We're going nowhere without the information that I'd prefer to have.
Okay.
I just want to say, Commissioner Linden, you were actually on the dais when we approved this.
I was.
You was, you know what I mean? And we even wrestled with this when you were on the dais about changing it from Burt Bergstrom to here. Now we're in the 9th hour and we need to make this money move. And we're either going to say to ourselves, return the money and let's wait another 7 years and do something with it, or we need to move on. I mean, this is where we get locked up all the time. Because if we don't do anything, then we're looked at as the town doesn't want to move on. But if we do something, then it's a matter of what's the cost. We know there's going to be a cost. That is why I'm saying to the public, what do you want there? Let's not get stuck in our mind about the fact that this is this grandiose. We need to get feedback. With that feedback, I think you're making some very good suggestion. What is going to be the cost of that? But if we don't do anything, we don't know what the cost is going to be. So we have to do something so that we can figure out if we built it this way, this is going to be the cost. If we built it the other way, that's going to be the cost.
Can I ask a question again?
Yes.
Kimberly Horn, would that be a part of their scope of services in relation to Commissioner Linden's concerns?
To obtain information on insurance and such?
Yes.
I could approach to them, and they could help us.
They can fill in those gaps, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Commissioner O'Rourke.
I move to approve Resolution 102-1225.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
Resolution passes 4-1. Okay, next we have Resolution 103-1225, an agreement with 10th Street Road and Green Infrastructure Stormwater Improvements, RFQ 115-2025, professional engineering and design services with Baxter and Woodman Inc. for $423,898. Commissioner Thomas, I believe you pulled this item. I will let you begin.
Excuse me. All what I really want is just a brief synopsis of where we are in the design phase of 10th, because this is what this is about, right?
This is
10th,
for
right?
the design.
Right. So we did not have all of the monies for the design for 10th.
No. We have budgeted for the money for the design. What we don't have the full money is
For the construction.
Construction.
Okay. And that's what I just wanted it to be clear, because I've been hearing that road from Silver Beach to Park Avenue is a wreck. And so this is for that improvement, correct?
Yes, that's
okay.
correct. That's
Thank
correct.
you.
Any other questions on this item? I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve consent
Resolution.
Agenda 8, Resolution 103-1225.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Resolution passes unanimously. Next, we have item number 9 that was pulled from consent, Resolution 104-1225, an agreement with Lake Park Neighborhood Water and Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project on 10th Street property, town-owned, with Seacoast Utility Authority, otherwise known as SUA. Commissioner Thomas?
Question. Is this part of their overall master improvements that they're doing through the town?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
that's what this is for, right?
It is.
Okay, now, also, Seacoast Utilities, I think made a request to use our excess property by the train track?
Just behind the fire station on 10th
Right,
Street.
for staging?
Yes.
Okay, and so would this also encompass that?
Yes, this
is-
agenda item would approve the staging of their equipment throughout their construction phase, which should last approximately 9 months. The agreement is for 1 year.
Yes.
However, there is an opportunity to
For an
extend it
extension?
if needed.
Okay. I also want to say, so I just wanted to make sure that we understand that, and that's what that was about.
Yes.
So with that, I'm good with it. I also, too, want to just put on the record of the just tremendous work that, SUA have been doing in order to get projects completed. I've seen the emails, the numerous emails.
Actually, I was going to call Mr. Bishop
Oops.
up
Okay.
front.
But I just wanted, to let you know the heartfelt, thank you for really moving forward with this and helping us as best as you can.
Okay, so since Commissioner Thomas jumped the gun on me, please come on up. I just wanted to say thank you kindly for all that you've done with everything and all the projects, especially a project that we currently are in the final stages of, that being the Knowledge Project. I know there were some bumps on the road, and you made it a priority for yourself to work with the developers on that project and get that move forward in an expedited manner, and it is greatly appreciated by our town, and I just want to thank you kindly in person. Thank you very much.
We appreciate working with all of you. It truly is a pleasure. This is our hometown, and we want things to be right.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll do everything we can to make them that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. If there are any, Commissioner O'Rourke.
I move to approve Resolution 104-1225.
Okay. Second. We have first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed?
Thank you.
Resolution passes unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop.
Next, we have item number 10, Resolution 105-1225, purchase quick view video inspection pole camera equipment, scratch the equipment. View Video Inspection Pole Camera for Environmental Products Group, Inc., for $19,500. Commissioner Linden, you pulled this item. I will let you begin.
Thank you. While the cost of this item seems a little high based on some of the research that I did, we'll just go with that number as being okay. The questions I have: who's going to operate it, and what training are they going to receive to operate this?
Stormwater Division, which is John and Calvin, and the company is going to train them. They've already been out here, and they've already shown us how to use the camera, how to use the pose, where to use the pose, how to position the pose, how to pose record, so they're going to do the training.
All right, well, I know those guys, and that's good. I'm glad they were trained. Okay. And that's it. That's fine. That's enough.
Okay. Commissioner O'Rourke.
I move to approve Resolution 105-1225.
Do we have a second? We have first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, resolution passes unanimously. Those are all the items of consent that was pulled. Next, we have public hearing. I have nothing on ordinance on first reading. I also have nothing on ordinance on second reading, so we will move to new business. Our first item on the new business is Resolution 106-1225, an agreement on piggyback with copier and multifunction devices with Canon USA, Inc. We have our first sighting of our IT director, Mr. Paul.
He's alive.
McGinnis. Welcome to the Town of Lake Park meeting.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. This item is for the replacement of our copiers, printers, faxes that we have throughout the town. We did renegotiated a contract with the vendor that will see significant cost savings to the town going forward.
Now, this cost will not include anything new, just basically what we have.
No, sir. We will get all brand new equipment.
No, again, all new brand new equipment.
Yes.
Replacements?
Replacements, yes.
Replacement.
We're actually reducing our footprint, so we're removing devices that were not being used or underutilized.
Right.
So in order to save money for the town, we're removing a device from finance and also the large format printer scanner from the clerk's office.
And I'm glad that you made that statement, because that was my next question, and I thank you for giving us that.
Absolutely.
That
yes, my pleasure.
Any other questions from the dais? I will entertain a motion.
I move to pass Resolution 106-1225.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, resolution passes unanimously. Next, we have Resolution 107-1225, an agreement, first renewal with financial, purchasing, and human resource, utility building, business licensing, code compliance, and permitting software subscription and support with Tyler Technologies, Inc. I am very familiar with them.
Yes.
Personally.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And this is you once again, Mr.
It
Paul.
is, yes. Thank you for having me back. So basically what's happening here is we are amending our original contract with Tyler to remove some modules that have not been implemented and will not be implemented going forward. So this will allow us to realize some cost savings in our ongoing contract with Tyler.
Okay, if there are questions, Town Manager?
I just wanted to say real quickly, Paul did a great job in negotiating this deal. There are significant savings for training, and we're looking at doing different things with our modules, and we're really moving forward with the code side of it, or the permitting side of it. So not only Paul, but also our community development folks, I just really wanted to say thank you.
Absolutely.
This is a much better deal than what we were working with.
It really is, and I've been working closely with Ms. Jimenez from the permitting, the business licensing side of things from the Community Development Department. She's been working really hard with me and with the folks at Tyler to bring this project to its conclusion.
And then how's the transition been to their product?
So we've been using the Tyler product in finance for the last 2 years or so. And we are currently in the implementation stages for the permitting, business license, planning, and zoning. And that will also encompass a portal for our residents to be able to more quickly, apply for the business licenses, for their permits, et cetera. So it's really going to speed up the process and provide superior customer service to our residents.
And will this be something that this portal will be embedded in their website, or will be a relink to the
Yeah,
relocation?
it will be embedded in our websites, our website, yes.
Okay.
Question.
Commissioner Rourke.
Thank you. Paul, this Tyler equipment that we're using, has it evolved technologically in the period that we've been there?
Yeah, as part of our ongoing contract, we received regular updates. So roughly once a month, we're receiving software updates from Tyler to bring us in line with all the new software.
Okay, I was just concerned because technology moves fast nowadays.
It does move fast,
as
yes,
probably you know. And so
yes, sir.
I just want to make sure it's still something that's relevant.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I can let you know, Commissioner Rourke, just from my own experience, the office where I work, that's what we use is Tyler Technologies, and they've vastly improved. And part of their criteria is to get input from all those customers that subscribe to their product, as well as have kind of like community forums where all the clients come together and they have discussion on good, bad, and different. So, okay. If there are no other questions,
I move to approve Resolution 107-1225.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, resolution passes unanimously. Next, we have Resolution 108-1225, fiscal year 2025-2026 budget adjustment, re-encumber open purchase order funding from the fiscal year 2025 budget. We have Barbara Gould.
Good evening, Barbara Gould, Finance Director. How are you this evening? So this is a housekeeping issue. At September 30, when the year ends, money that has been appropriated and encumbered but cannot be spent because equipment isn't available, the length of time needed to complete the process takes us past year end, we need to bring that money forward into the new budget. So we bring the revenue that was not spent, and we bring the expenditure forward. So there's no increase in expenditures without a matching revenue. So these are just the different pieces that we could not complete before 9:30.
So in plain, simple English, those that were earmarked are moved from one budget cycle to the next.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions? I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 108-1225.
We have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Resolution passes unanimously. Next, we have Resolution 109-1225, an agreement right-of-way improvement and maintenance of Knowledge 220 with Forest Development, LLC. Nadia DiTomaso.
Good evening, Nadia DiTomaso, Community Development Director. I will be brief. This agreement is necessary to ensure that the maintenance responsibilities for all of the rights-of-way, so all of the roadways surrounding the Nautilus 220 project, Cypress Drive, the new Bayberry Drive, Lakeshore Drive, are the responsibility of the developer. What this agreement does is it sets certain provisions that ensures that the ongoing maintenance responsibilities are assigned to Forest Development. Of course, as soon as the association does take over, they would be responsible for the maintenance responsibilities as well. There is some language, some assignment language in the agreement to that effect. And then the term of the agreement is in perpetuity. I'm just trying to go through some of the main points. There are some standard provisions that I will not go through, but if the commission does have any questions, I will surely answer those questions. And there are also some cure provisions, and those are in section, one moment, I will turn to those. I believe they are in section... I had them tabbed, and now I don't have it tabbed. As I'm finding the cure provisions, just to summarize them for you, they're in section 6 on page 7, failure to maintain. So if the developer does fail to maintain the maintenance responsibilities, there is a cure period that allows for notification to them or to the responsible party. And then, of course, there is a process that is outlined in here that we would need to follow. If they don't cure the issues, then we would have the ability to go in and cure them ourselves and charge the responsible party for those costs, along with some additional administrative costs. And we also have the ability to and play some code enforcement action as well per the language that's defined in this section. If the commission has any questions, I am available for any questions at this time. Thank you.
Are there any questions for staff at this time? Mr. Thomas.
There was a question, and I did mention this to the town manager, and one of the questions that I have is the appearance. If the developer is going to be solely responsible for that right-of-way, then what does that mean? Because it is a right-of-way, it's a public right-of-way. So now the developer says, well, we have maintenance on this perpetually, then we own it. And so I did have this discussion with the town manager to say to him, well, what does that mean? And we, as a commission, is up here. I could understand there being some maintenance, being associated with, but what does that appearance look like as the policymaker?
And we did have some back and forth email exchange on that. There was some suggestion on including some additional language that that makes it very clear that the town retains ownership, of course, of these roadways. And perhaps the town manager or the town attorney would like to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I don't think you need that. This is a publicly dedicated right-of-way. That's not changing. This is just giving them an easement to enable them to place the infrastructure, their landscaping in the right-of-way, and they have the responsibility for maintaining it. Doesn't change ownership.
Okay. I just wanted that to be clear on the record.
It's clear in the public record because it's a recorded right-of-way.
Okay. And the developer is okay with that?
Yes. Yeah. They do know that we will retain
thumbs
ownership.
Up.
Okay.
For the record, they gave a thumbs up.
Okay. Resolution, then I go ahead and make a motion for
Thank you.
Resolution 109-1225.
Hold on, let's see if there are any other questions.
I had a question.
Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
I had the question, but it was the exact same question that Commissioner Thomas had, because I want to make sure that we don't have that problem that we're having currently right now. So I just want to make sure we don't have that problem. And town attorney said that it's for the record that, it still belongs to the public and the town. So they're just maintenance in theirs and their part. So I'm cool with that.
Okay. If there are no other questions.
I made the motion. I'm just waiting for the second.
Go ahead.
Second. Make it again. Yeah.
Make it again, please.
109.
For the record.
109.
Yes, it
12. I make a motion to approve Resolution 109-1225.
Do we have a second?
It's second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, resolution passes unanimously. Finally, we have our discussion with the town manager annual performance evaluation. This was brought up at our, last month's meeting, where, just to give a quick history, where we were trying to establish a new form of evaluating our town manager. This was something that we tried to do in our previous commissions, but to no avail, as well as previous town manager. But we have reached a point now where I believe there were 2 evaluations that were presented, one with a SMART goal approach and the other one with a general evaluation approach as well. It was asked at our last meeting last month by one of our commissioners if we could postpone to this meeting again to allow time to review, which was given a consensus to do so, and we have now reached this point right here where the discussion is which way we want to go with the evaluation forms. And I will leave it at that, and I will open the floor to Commissioner O'Rourke with discussion.
Thank you. I've reviewed both of them. They're actually kind of similar. The second one is not as detailed as the first. I think that the first one is the way to go.
Okay. Commissioner Thomas.
I looked at the evaluative tools, and I do have some comments on the evaluative tool. And I believe that there's some areas, well, first of all, I think my selection is the one that actually has a scorecard for the numbers. That would be the
second one. I was calling the first one the first one that was presented to us that has the SMART goal boxes.
I think they both all have SMART goals, but I think one has numerations, yeah. Mm-hmm.
One is numbers, the other one is...
That's the one I was referring to as more of a generalized...
That's what I was talking about when I said I thought that was more general.
Yeah.
The other one has letter grades, basically.
Well, I've just said, all we're doing right now is looking at the evaluative tool. That's what you're asking.
It's Commissioner Thomas.
Yeah.
You're letting me know which one you're in favor of, and if you have any extra
Yeah,
comments.
I do have comments on changes through that, but I thought we were just going through.
Right now, we're just picking
we were just going through and asking.
Which one it is.
Which one you want?
Right, exactly.
Okay, which one do you want?
I said the one that actually had the scorecard.
Yes. Okay, so Commissioner O'Rourke, you said scorecard as well? Or
No, I
you
said
the first one with
which is
SMART goals?
One with the
alphabet
letters.
Okay. And you
We'll
said,
call them that way.
You said with the scorecard?
Yeah.
I am actually in favor of that as well. Vice Mayor Hensley?
I'm going to go with scorecard because I use that one a lot.
Okay. Commissioner Linden?
Scorecard.
Okay, so we have a 4-1 for the scorecard. I don't think we're going to go any further with that. It was just to establish which form to go.
Yes.
But I believe, Commissioner Thomas, you said you had comments in relation to possible adjustments.
Yes, I do.
Or modifications.
Correct.
To the scorecard.
Correct.
So please do so.
So I'm sure that I can possibly sit with the manager in regards to the modifications, because I thought tonight was just to determine what score, what.
Yeah, it's just simply to determine which form we're going to proceed with. And staff, I want to thank staff again to help us out in providing us these two forms and giving us allowed us the time to review them. And that's all there is for today. Okay, so we have that already decided. We are going with the one with the scorecard, and we'll move forward.
Do we need to make a?
I move to adopt. Wait, I'm on the wrong one here.
Make sure you get it exactly. And thank you guys for doing the review as well.
I move to adopt.
Well,
Day 108. Didn't we do 108?
No, we did that. That was a resolution.
That was a resolution.
No,
We're on item number 15.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
There
the
it is.
discussion with the.
Very good, yeah. I move to approve the annual performance evaluation tool that gives numerated scores.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a second?
I have a second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any other further discussion?
Yes, I have some.
Sure, Commissioner Linden.
I brought this up last time, and now's the appropriate time to bring it up when we're talking about a modification on what we normally have done in the past. When we fill these out, we always did this in an open format and explained in a public setting why we said what we did. And I think that's extremely unfair to the person being evaluated. While the public will be able to see how we voted and what our comments are, I don't think this is something that should be done in an open public setting. So I would like that added to the motion, that discussion of these I'll discuss it with the town manager, but at the next meeting, we just give a total of what they were, and then at that meeting, if I remember correctly, we come up with the amount that we're going to award.
I guess it's more or less the results of our evaluation.
Right, we have to wait for the results.
Yeah.
Right, but at that meeting, we also said that we were going to give the town manager X number of dollars or X number of percentages. Is that what we're still going to do?
I don't know where we are with this, but I'm going to tell you that there's some modifications I'd like to make to the scorecard, and that's not being discussed right now because I was informed we were just going to discuss which one we were going to use, and then we were going to come back with the modifications on this. So
that is
I'd
correct.
like to move along that line because that's the way I understood it as being.
Yeah.
All right, so are we going to build that into this as a modification on how it's discussed? Are we going to discuss that at the next meeting? And when are these due?
I would say if you have any modifications you'd like to make, discuss it with the town manager. He will populate all those into one document, and we will bring that to the attention of the board, of the commission at the next meeting.
All right.
Okay.
Easy enough, yeah.
Easy enough. Okay, so I think we made a motion in a second, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we all good with?
I'm good.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. As far as the evaluated tool, aye.
Correct. As far as the evaluated to, aye. All opposed?
Nay.
Okay. The item passes 4-1. Okay. That is all the agenda items for this evening. Town attorney comments.
Thank you, Mayor. On this Friday, the law firm representing the local governments in the challenge to the SB 180 legislation will be arguing, it's kind of a procedural issue, but there is a motion for preliminary injunction pending before the court. The preliminary injunction hearings are very important because one of the criteria is that you must demonstrate a likelihood of prevailing on the merits. So if you win on a motion for preliminary injunction, you are likely to win the case in total. Just as an example, if you recall, there was a similar argument made on Form 6, and the local government attorneys prevailed in Form 6, and basically that went away. So it's the same type of argument that's going to be made. The question was, and at first I thought I was going to have to go to Tallahassee, but I don't, is that whether there's going to be any live testimony as part of that preliminary injunction. So that's what's being argued Friday. And the actual hearing, whether it's live testimony or just the affidavits that have been submitted in support of the motion, will be argued in January. So on behalf of the town, I submitted an affidavit. They're actually called declarations, and that declaration recites why SB 180 negatively impacts the town. And so all of the local governments, which is approximately 30, had representatives submit declarations like that. But I suppose the good news is that the arguments on the preliminary injunction are going to be made in Monday, and in January, and there could be some type of decision before the legislature even finishes their business. And other than that, I say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays. See you next year.
Well said, well said. Thank you, town attorney. Town manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple quick things.
Is your mic on, just out of curiosity?
Can you
Okay,
hear me?
it says sound low, that's all, I'm sorry.
About that. I wanted to begin by just saying thank you to our commission, to our community, and of course, very importantly, our staff. The holiday event was just really, really unbelievable. I had a chance to talk to a number of the businesses. I walked down Park Avenue and popped my head in and introduced myself or said hello, and there was just so much appreciation of the town and our staff for what we did and what was done, and I just wanted to say thank you and absolutely incredible job. And so it was my first one, and I just was really, really pleased. Before I forget, I do want to ask the commission if there's an interest in possibly doing a proclamation for one of our employees. We recently had an employee celebrate, I believe, her 50th year with the town, and it may be a real great thing to do. What we have included in our budget is to do employee recognition events every quarter for the folks that are here for certain years and doing them. It may be appropriate to do that in front of our entire staff.
Yeah.
But wanted to ask if that was something that you all would have an interest in doing.
Okay, that's a consensus. Absolutely. I am just flabbergasted that this person, I know who this person is, has worked here as long as I lived. Yeah. Literally.
So, it'd be great to do.
And we'd be honored to have it done here in this platform.
I wanted to also thank our staff. You guys were notified about 2 grants that we received from DEP for totaling close to $400,000. And so this is good stuff. It's really good. It's, drainage improvements. So I know I was down at Jamie's office and he was, had a big smile on his face, but also wanted to thank, of course, our communication grants staff for writing these grants. These are just important ways that we were able to do these infrastructure projects and keep our costs down. And we're going to continue working at it. And I just want to say thank you to our staff and, of course, the commission for supporting us and going forward with those types of applications. So thank you. A couple other items. Our library director put out recently that we still have some angel tree donations available. So if the community has an interest, please.
Actually, we have our library director.
But we had to expand.
Our library director is actually coming up to clarify.
Hi, Judy Cooper, library director. As of 6 o'clock, we were down, or 6:30, we were down to 30. So we still have them, but we've had people coming. So we've had lots of angels showing up.
That's wonderful to hear.
So it was 100 the other day, wasn't it?
Yep.
So we appreciate everyone who's jumped in to help, and this is really important. These are for our kids in our community that need some help, and families that need some help, and we're just appreciative. Also, the library is also, of course, part of the Lake Park Food Drive, where donations of non-perishable food items, toiletries, and personal hygiene products will be accepted through Tuesday, December 23rd, with drop-off locations at Town Hall, the library, Public Works, and our Lake Harbor Marina. So we're asking our community to help with that as well. Of course, Commission, you guys are all involved in the holiday decorating contest and judging. So the lights are amazing this year in our community, and really appreciate our staff in helping to plan this and get this going. So it'll be exciting to see who wins, and I think the announcement will be on Monday, December 22nd. So thank you all for participating. Before I forget, and I'm going to have Nadia come up in a second to give you guys an update on the Nautilus project, but just wanted to announce to our community that for the Christmas holiday, all town offices will be closed on Wednesday, December 24th, and in observance of Christmas Eve, and Thursday, December 25th, of course, for Christmas Day, except for the Lake Park Harbor Marina, which will be open until 2 p.m. on Wednesday, the 24th, Christmas Eve. So, Jason, thank you for being open and supporting our community in that time. And then, of course, we have New Year's Eve, where all town offices will be closed on January 1st. The marina, again, will be open and operating on regular service. So the marina is always available for that.
Town manager, sorry. Don't most states are closed the Friday the 2nd too?
Yeah, this year, well, normally most city and state locations are open or closed for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. For whatever reason, we're only closed on New Year's Day. A lot of our staff are already planning to take off. We're going to be on a super
on New Year's Eve?
On a lot of the holiday, so it's normally, and I know that the governor has added additional, days to the state offices and has provided that. And that's something, if you guys would consider, we'd be happy to.
Can we still get the trash picked up?
We would do that in the same manner that we've done it previously when you guys entertained that option. Now, the holiday schedule, we do not have, on Christmas Day, we would not have any service, which is normal. And then on New Year's Day, there would be no residential service, but there would be a garbage cart and bulk trash on Friday, January 2nd.
Okay. All set?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Okay. Before I do, Nadia, if you could jump in real quick and give an update on where we are with Nautilus.
I'll be quick. Just today, Fire did sign off on the pending issues that they had on the project. So tomorrow, the Seacoast will be reviewing all of their final paperwork, making sure that they have everything they need, which they believe they do. I spoke to Rim this evening. And then Friday morning, the building official will be doing his final walkthrough, assuming that goes well. I will be meeting with him just after his walkthrough to review all of the paperwork that we have in, and he's hopeful to be able to issue the CO on Friday, barring any issues that may come up between now and then.
So you're telling me that my Christmas gift might be coming?
Early.
Really? Okay.
So when will they actually be active, the connections? When will it be active? Friday?
The lift station is operational.
Everything's
okay. Operational.
So, okay.
Yes.
So water, sewer,
Yes.
everything is now?
Yes.
So they have potable water, sanitary sewer?
Yes.
They're flushing?
Yes.
Okay.
Based on what I've received. Yes.
Okay.
And Mr. Mayor, if I could, our staff has, along with Seacoast, along with Fire, along with all these different entities, and I'll tell you, every day, Nadia and I talk almost about this, and our staff has just really, really kept on top of this and really worked hard to help. And of course, can't thank you enough for the recognition to Seacoast. They've really done so much above and beyond to try and help to make sure that approvals were done. And I know the developers worked hard as well over the past few months. So we're right there. And I just want to say thank you, Nadia, and to your entire staff for all the hard work you've put into managing that.
Well, I know.
Keeping everyone informed.
If, as you said, this will be the closing part of the journey, and if that CEO does come in, that will answer a lot of questions that we've had tonight in terms of funding, because that wiggle room to work on things moving forward. So. Thank you again for that update. We appreciate that. And Town Manager?
Just wanted to, come back around and, I know there was some conversation about, New Year's Eve or what the governor was doing. Do you guys have any thought on that, any direction?
The governor, I believe, has given an extra day off, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, he provided some additional days off to the staff in advance or around the holidays.
And those days are, again, the
Yeah.
Fridays, the 2 Fridays?
Let the people rest, as long as the trash can get out.
Well, I know, yeah. Consensus? Any objections?
Well,
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. My vote is to get you off on that Friday.
Okay, there's one.
And New Year's Eve.
Don't.
Happy New Year.
New Year.
He's Santa Claus.
Okay, Commissioner O'Rourke?
Of course. Have a happy holiday. Yeah.
Okay, Vice Mayor?
Let me think. Yes.
I'm always on
Santa?
yes.
Santa?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let it be
Are they
known,
on
Santa said
are they on a
yes.
naughty list?
Mr. Mayor, and first, on behalf of all of our staff,
I never
thank
gave
you.
my vote. I was going to say no. They don't need a day off. Yes, please, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Mr. Mayor, thank you, and thank you all to all of you all. That's very considerate and generous to our staff. And I'm sure, Jamie, we can do the same in the marina. You know, we'll do the same thing that we've done in the past, where we, you know, continue to operate, and we'll work through the FLSA requirements over that month, and really kind of keep our costs down and try and offer time off, so to help. So thank you all.
No problem. Thank you.
And again, I want to wish you all, our staff, our community, just Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and thank you all for everything you all do, and thank you to our staff. Appreciate you all.
Okay, any commissioner comments? We'll start over here with Commissioner O'Rourke.
Yes, I have a personal story to let you know. My son is a football coach for Kaiser University. There's only one college in the state of Florida that's still undefeated, and that's Kaiser University. They're on their way to Fort Worth for the national championship in their conference, and we wish them well. Go Seahawks!
Go Seahawks!
This is their 4th year in a row in the national championship. They've won it once, but we hope we can make them win it again this year. So, yeah, it's awesome, man. I'm such a proud dad. I love it.
Are you going?
Okay.
You bet I'm going. Yeah.
I would hope so. We're going to go over here. Commissioner Thomas asked for a delay on her comments. Commissioner Linden, please.
I could probably go through a whole list.
Okay,
but
you want to?
we're going to narrow it down to one.
Sure.
All right. The Angel thing. Joanne and I went down today to help support that. And I think that's extremely nice for the town of Lake Park. And when we get into budgets, we'll talk a little about that also. But that's it. And again, Santa's going strong. Best we figured, a little over 1,000 kids so far this year that we've touched, you know. So. Yeah.
Well, again, thank you for doing what you do, being who you are when it comes to being Santa, and touching many lives doing it.
It's fun.
I can tell by when you do it, you enjoy it, and it really shows. Yeah.
They pulled the beard. Yeah. Oh, they pull it all the time. Yeah.
All right. Vice Mayor.
I just want to say have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's, and I'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Okay. Commissioner Thomas.
Okay, I would just like to say, I do not agree with the one meeting a month, because this is the time that we get out here. And so I am not going to agree to the one night a month, because staff, that means that it makes a long day for you, and it definitely makes a long day for people that don't know how to get up early in the morning, okay? So I'm just saying that. So my gift to you, staff, would be that we don't have one meeting a month, okay, so that we can get out here on time. Okay, then the other thing that I would like to say is it's a pleasure having you as staff. It's really nice that, that we have this form of relationship here with, and so I just wish you all of the best over the holiday as well as in the coming new year. Really do. We've done a lot of work this year, and I just want to give you guys kudos. Okay, that's all I can remember.
Okay. I want to echo Commissioner Thomas's sentiments with staff. I want to thank you. I've been with you for a long time, actually, since 2017. You have helped me grow. That's all I have to say on that. You have helped me grow to be a better person, a better advocate, a better commissioner, and now as well a better mayor. I owe it all to you. I will not take it alone. You guys have helped make me who I am, and I really appreciate you for doing that. So thank you for all that you've done, all that you've instilled in me, all the information that you've given me to help me do what I do up here, along with my counterparts, and again, thank you. I want to wish everybody in the town of Lake Park a wonderful Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For me personally, it's been some bumps on the road this year, but it's always good to have these times of the year where you can reflect and come together as a family, and I appreciate you guys as my family, as well as those at home and those that I work with. So thank you to all, and to all, a good night. So I will entertain
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We're out.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Good night,
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
Everyone.